and welcome back to the Metropole Grid. I probably should have cut that in right when the music changed. We'll figure it out. How's everyone doing? welcome back to Match Ball Grid. My name is Andre. This is a Wednesday stream. Kind of weird, huh? Shoutouts to those who hit the subscribe or follow button. Is this too loud still? How's everyone doing? I made a goof. I'll fade that out. I made a goof last week. This week we were meant to be here with Pat as of tomorrow. And we were meant to be going through some of the new cards, stuff like that. I can't stream tomorrow. Got a business trip, so we're not gonna be here. It's real hard to express that information, let alone I didn't want to miss a stream this week. So we're just doing it today. Welcome Wednesday stream. How's everyone going? We're up on YouTube and Twitch. Void, how you doing? Glad you like the music. Kyle, yeah, Wednesday. Jellyhead, how you doing? 25 hours early is correct. Also, Zorpox, did you push that big red stream button by accident? Never done that before. Not once. Solon, how's it going today? Yeah, Wednesday. Let's do it. Today's been a pretty exciting day for Netrunner. How's everyone doing? We got the last of the spoilers. We now know every card coming out in Downfall, which releases officially March 18th. That is just Monday. So that's actually relatively soon, which is really cool. The stuff looks really cool. I think on the Corp side, there was more things revealed all at once. For the Runner side, we saw all the Runner cards revealed like on Monday, but that was only like 6 unknown cards. Now we jumped up all the way through, like there's like 13 unknown Corp cards today. So it's been pretty cool. We're going to start the way that we normally start, which is with a deck list of the week, and this one's pretty funny. Actually, interestingly enough, I don't know if it's still there. I checked, but there was a comment on the last video. Oh, that's the wrong button. I didn't want to do that. There's a comment on last video from last week. We played a deck list of the week, which was this Nasir deck, and I think we went into it with like really low expectations, and I think we misplayed it a bit too. And I feel like we probably maybe undersold the deck, and we're a bit salty about it. Somebody called it like respectfully out in the comments. Shout out to them. The comment isn't there anymore. I don't know if I can't see it for some reason or got removed or something, but anyways, we're gonna keep that in mind. Keep an more open attitude. Thank you for that. Chris, how's it going? Wait, shenanigans. It's not Thursday. No, it's not. Can't stream tomorrow. Goof that up. Good. So we're gonna do a recovery stream today. Because it's going to be a busy weekend, and actually I'm not going to be able to stream the last week of this month too. I won't be here, so we'll figure something out because it's a really exciting time to do Netrunner stuff. So we'll get to it. Basil, what's up? How are you doing? Happy Wednesday as well. Welcome. Yeah, we got a stream today just because otherwise we'll goof it up a bit. This is Sanjay's top placing mini faction deck at the Philly Store Championships. It's a really silly deck. I'm excited to try it out. I actually haven't played Sonny LeBeau at all since it was actually going to be a good week too, because Pat was meant to be here yesterday, and Pat was the world's top placing Sonny player at Worlds this year, which shout out to him. So this is a Sonny deck, but it's also just has a lot of other cards from, I guess only one other really big card from another mini faction, which is Apocalypse. If you ask me, Apocalypse is kind of nuts and Sunny, and I think a bit of the write-up says that too, because Apocalypse wants you to rip up your board, and while we're only running one copy, we have one of the most expensive cards in the game, and ripping that up kind of is a hard sell, but nobody expects it. The problem, again, with it being the deck list of the week is maybe everyone expects it now, so we're going to try and Apocalypse someone. We have some breakers. I haven't played Sunny, I think, in a long time since the System Core, the Nisei System Core came out, because you lost a lot of really strong Sunny cards. I think Underworld Contacts was probably the best one, which is 1 credit a turn, install turn 1, click 1, and it'd be online, which is pretty cool. Probably not even going to be in this deck anyways, considering it was an Apocalypse deck if it was available. We have a new card taking that place in the near future. Who's excited for new Netrunner cards? Got my first store champs coming up. Quite excited about that. When's your store champs, Bazza? You want to shout it out for those in your area? We can get that sweet plug in. Yeah, we do have new cards to talk about. It's not a crazy time in the UK. How's it going, Ed? It's probably, I don't know. I think the hours are different between Europe, also in North America still. Anywho, this deck has some cool things in it. Firstly, obviously the Apocalypse, some pretty common stuff, some basic stuff. Employee Strike, Office Supplies is pretty cool. White Hat is pretty cool. Security Chip, actually, I was kind of interested in this card specifically due to the fact that this in a lot of ways replaces old Dean Lister. Now, Security Chip only boosts by 2 unless you play extra cards to give you Link, which both our Sports Hoppers and our Security Nexus does. And this is kind of like Dean Lister when you use cards like Amakua. And Dean Lister Amakua classically was a very strong combination, and having that ability to get your Link into like Amakua boost is kind of cool, because there are a lot of people that are spending building big remotes with like a lot of really high strength ice, so Amakuing through it is generally the best way you can do it. Fortunately, Security Chip is only for the run, not for the turn, so cards like Border Control will really goof you up, but Yes, it's not a bad start at least. And everything else here is pretty straightforward. Jackson Clare helps us with our Apocalypse. That's kind of cool. And we have DDoS. The write-up says that the Gabahalis, or sorry, the Kangamatos aren't that good, but we're just going to play it as is and see how things go. We'll try and rip some stuff apart. Yo, Mike, how's it going? Apocalypse Sonny. Truly, the community doesn't deserve Sanjay. Also, if you don't know Sanjay, on that note, does a lot of art. I think this is, yeah, image credit me. Does a lot of cool stuff for the community. I think he's from Maryland, if I'm not mistaken. Had a pleasure meeting him a couple times now at Worlds. Just the nicest dude. Shout out to Sanjay. Happy Thursday, everyone. Hey, Jogging, how you doing? Thursday. Ransom, how's it going as well? Yep, it is a bit janky, but it'll be fun, I'm pretty sure. And also Baza says March 30th in Ottawa, Gatineau, there's a store championship. Baza, I can't go to that one because I'm going to be missing a week at the end of March, but I think we have people from Montreal going to represent. So shout out to the Ottawa crew. Let's plug this in. I think the write-up says specifically that daily casts, excuse me, that DDoS is probably better than Kangamato and maybe Employee Strike, but whatever, we'll figure it out. Also, Armitage code busting, so good in Apocalypse decks. Anytime I see a Shaper play this, I think they're an Apocalypse Shaper, which isn't that common, but okay. Hey, Andre, I almost never catch a stream praise Daylight Savings. Daylight Savings gives, I also am starting like a bunch earlier. Generally, we start at like 9 o'clock. It's like, what, 7:30? So, it's even better. But how's it going in the UK? Or Europe in general? Oh, we gotta add this first. Alphabetti Spaghetti. I keep hitting the microphone. Excuse me. Alphabetti Spaghetti. So I was also really excited today to try and play some of the new cards. If anyone's in chat who wants to play a bit of Jinteki.net today, the thing is the new runner cards were revealed on Monday, so I've had a bit more time to like kind of think about what decks I'd want to build with them. Unfortunately, they're not implemented. There's suspicions that they'll be implemented on the 18th when the set is technically officially released. But if somebody wants to play some Netrunner where we can try some of the new cards out, we're going to have to do things manually. But I kind of really want to play some as. So let me know if you're into that. Sonny, LeBeau, let's go. Now Thursday. How's it going, Syncope? How you doing? Welcome. Sanjay's always peeping on my Sonny games. Gotta be #1 Sonny scholar. Yeah, I think, has Sanjay been playing a lot of Sonny? I wouldn't be surprised. I remember other deck lists that Sanjay was, his name was attached to that were like really top placing Sonny decks. So Sanjay knows what he's doing. Funny enough, this deck list is like really silly compared. But yeah, I think there was a couple like Sonny decks that we've actually played. Yeah, Cash Refresh, top 8. Yeah, cool. I think we probably played a Sanjay deck on here before, specifically Sanjay Sonny. Let's give this a run. Yeah, I really want to try as. If you're not familiar, we're going to be talking about some of the upcoming cards. Going to be spoiling them, if you want to call it that. As doesn't seem... Oh, fuck me, that was probably so loud. Was that so loud? Apologies. Crap, I keep fucking that up. Hey, Clockots. I spelled that right. Maybe that's actually on brand. That's probably pretty good. As isn't on Jinteki yet, Benjamin. That's the thing, is like we have to kind of figure it out on our own. Ooh, CTM. We do have 2 link. That's good. How's it going? So we do have 2 link, which helps us a bit. We want to set up early economy. Amakua generally gets hit by IP block and wraparound in the matchup. I don't know in terms of burst economy what we have. We do have the supplies. White Hat's really good because we can shuffle away their hard-hitting news cards like that. But generally we want to open with Dirty Laundries to check remotes. This hand is okay. Office supplies, we basically can pay to gain 2 credits. Doesn't sound great. Caddy's probably a bit too slow. I think we're going to mulligan this for a bit better. We are. Josephine, how's it going? We are super early, is correct. Ooh, Employee Strike, also so good in the matchup. Oh, not too bad. Clockcats kept their hand, probably pretty good. Thalassin, how you doing? Awake for Andre, welcome. Wednesday early stream. You get generally a different crowd. How you doing? Spent the evening never in Barcelona with Vesper from Nice. Oh, super cool. Are you playing new stuff, old stuff? Ice card server 1, a lot of times that's going to look like it is AR enhanced security. You get that up early. Trashing stuff gets pretty difficult. Employee Strike is also relatively good. Now, this deck does get ripped apart to a big extent by DDoS. And we could actually just go like Sure Gamble, Employee Strike, DDoS, and run one of these. I really want to get in here. Forcing them to res 2 also isn't terrible. This needs to only be about 2 credits to res for it to be so that they can score an agenda. Awesome job they're doing. They're doing a really cool job, that's for sure. I can never watch live because you're on at 3 a.m. usually. Oof. Welcome. Where are you watching from? All right, so we got to think here. We could DDoS run it. The problem is if we hit Muhammad Virtual Tour, we lose 5 in a trace. So I think we play Employee Strike. The problem is if we play Employee Strike and that is a 3-1, like it's kind of a waste. And we only pay 2 credits extra on Sonny's, so it's not the worst. I think we're gonna make them res at least. I guess Enigma's the worst case here, but then they can't score unless this is a money card. Would you have to tweak a deck to avoid spoilers, but could possibly play on the playtesting server? That's okay. Interesting. Oh, this is really good for us because this is a pretty bad trace, so we can only boost by 1. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna use the spoilers server. Oh, from France, perfect. Salut. That's a Rashida. So we could trash this, which is 1, and then a trace. We can actually probably float the tag. I don't even think we have to not float the tag. And then we can run and trash this one. But like we can pay 2 credits to dodge a tag. Actually, we might as well, right? Because that's what it costs to clear the tag anyways. We have exactly 5, which is really bad for this. So we could, in theory, play this and then run that. That's not the worst. It means that we just don't get hit by Muhammad Virtual Tour, which would be pretty good. And they could hard-hitting news us, but we have some link. It's a daily business show. They can res that first. That's okay. So we played this just so we're under 5 credits so Muhammad Virtual doesn't hit us. And we can go trash that next turn if we really want to. Maybe we wanted to trash that now, but 2 credits, they're down at 1. It's really hard for them to do anything. Old stuff, practicing for Store Champ this weekend. You want to shout out where it is? Store Champs? I never expect APOC from Sonny. Yeah, I guess no one does, right? Man, getting through IP block for 1 credit feels good. Well, cards have been spoiled, so it seems like it wouldn't matter. They also have most of the art. The thing is, like, the spoiler server is a bit different. You want to trash this early, or we could just, like, focus on Apocalypse. Running HQ is okay, too. I think we could probably just hit Armitage. We can just run this. The average trash cost for this card is, like, what, 4 credits? We could do Armitage, Armitage, run. I guess we hit the Employee Strike first. I guess we can trash something for 4, and then we won't be able to hit Muhammad Virtual Tour, which is pretty good. So this is okay. Once we get a Sports Opera down, we walk through this for free, which is pretty cute. That's the Virtual Tour, so exactly. They boosted 1. We had exactly enough that we don't have to deal with this. We have to deal with this later. We can't trash this. Why doesn't it let us not trash it? We can't afford that. Why are you... Okay, so we know that's a Virtual Tour, which is pretty good. We could trash this. We'd go down to 0 credits, so they could, in theory, credit hard-hitting news us, which is kind of unlikely. Yeah, whatever, we'll trash this. They have a really bad opening, so if they can't filter their draw. We'll go down to 0 credits. Again, they could credit hard-hitting news us. That'd be the worst case. How's it going, Horse? So their plans to stream or video in-depth Ashes analysis. Would love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, we're going to do like a quick run-through of the corp cards, but like I plan to do the same stuff that we cut. Oh, they did it. That's fine. Unless we die. Oh, no, it's really hard for us to die. Maybe that was a mistake. We definitely didn't need to do that. But we're going to go through the cards today for sure after the deck list of the week. And then in the near future, we'll be doing like per faction videos to talk about them more in depth. Now, we definitely want to clear some of the tags. Now, this does end the run, which is obnoxious. But we're in no rush to clear all the tags. We have the Apocalypse 2, which is pretty good. 4 tags means there's no way to clear enough tags that we don't die. But they can do credit, and then have a high-profile target, which is a 5 influence card. Unlikely. They can't boom us this turn. So if we take all the credits off this, so like they could trash us for 6. So now they need closed accounts. They need credit closed accounts us, and then they're not gonna trash this. It's really hard. It's in the Liverpool. Perfect. How's it going, Jim? Attendance has been great so far at the UK at Store Champs. Hey, super glad to hear that. Install credit, something on top of the Mumbed Virtual Tour. If anything, likely to be the Rashida. They can't really score an agenda unless it is the 15 minutes if they're playing that. So we could consider just Apocalypsing then here, which isn't that bad. We wouldn't even take a tag. We want to wait for them to res a bit more. IP block would end the run, which would be a bit obnoxious. So I think we can just like play it a bit slow. White Hat's really strong here. We can shuffle their whole hand back. Oh, 2, okay. So I think we're going to start removing the tags again. They have a really bad start. Even if we install this, I don't think they can trash it. Okay, that's fine. It's a bug close prompt. Perfect. Yeah, we closed through it. Early stream had me super confused. Mad Dog, welcome to Thursday. Your schedule's way off. All right, employee strike 2 link. Not too bad. Just got to make our economy up. We don't have the long drip economy of data folding or underworld contacts. Oh, it's a Maryland. That's interesting. That might mean that they had extra influence. That's generally what it is. I don't think you see that many Jeeves decks getting the alliance in off of playing 8 or what is it, 6 HB cards. It's hard because they don't have a lot of influence. In the new decks or the new cards, there's a lot of really good stuff for NBN. Specifically controlling the message as well. Alright, well, they punished us once. We can probably check all this stuff. Next turn, they'll have 4 credits. Again, we are under Mumbed Virtual Tour. Bankers Group, that's a restricted card. We definitely trash that on site. Don't take the tag. 2 credits means we can trash another Bankers. We can track Rashida. I don't think that there's anything else that we need to trash. Now we click this, we'll have enough money that hard-hitting news is really hard. So team sponsorship, they actually might be on Jeeves. They could score out a 15 minutes from hand if they have it, but that's fine. Just take 4. DJ, how's it going? Evening, welcome. How you doing? Joe, oh my gosh, I'm awake for a stream. How you doing? Probably from Europe, I assume. Welcome to the stream. They have a second hard-hitting news. So again, that actually I don't think they can land. I don't know why they're doing that. Because we can spend all our money just to dodge it. And I think we'll be okay. So it's 6. So I guess they're trading all their money for all our money. That's a hard-hitting news out of the game. So like, I think next turn we can just click for 4. It's going to take for a lot for them. Now the IP block does end the run, but I think we can just like click for 4. If we click for 3, install the daily cast, I think they trash it. So I don't want to do that. We could also click 2, remove the tag, but this, like, if they do close accounts us, it'd be pretty bad. But this actually gives us some flexibility where if we can't have to trash something, we can trash something this turn, which is good. From the UK, oh, perfect. Only reason I'm up as late is that I just got home from watching Captain Marvel. How was it? I hear people really like that one. Ransom, how's it going? Sitting on 2 tags gives me anxiety, totally, but they just didn't have the 4 credits to boom us. So, and I think they're on a lot of HB cards. Like, I think there's 6 influence and Jeeves, so I don't think they're gonna boom us, but I feel you. All right, they go slow, we go slow. This is perfect for DDoS into Apocalypse. We won't take the tag because employee strike. And now they probably jam in the remote. We just want to access with less than 5 cards or 5 credits so we don't have to trash the MVT until we get our money up. And at this point, like, we can force a res with White Hat. Wouldn't be that bad. CTM, everyone's buzzing from the unexpected stream and they gotta bring the mood down. I don't mind. We got 2 link. We got employee strikes. CTM won't be that bad, right? Even better on the second viewing. I take it the first one was okay. Card on remote. They drew once. Their hand, mind you, they've only filtered 1 card draw the whole game. So I'm assuming that they actually have multiple agendas in their hand. So we could actually go pressure the White Hat here. They can easily res. What is this? I don't know. There's a very low chance that this is an agenda. So I actually just want to go White Hat them and maybe we can steal some agendas. This forces a res. On average, their ice costs 0 to 2. I think Resistor might be in their deck if they're playing hard-hitting news. We get through it for 2 credits. And then this we actually have to boost. So maybe we just slow down here. Like, this can't be Rashida. This could be another, like, I think we're just going to get the money. Seems fine. Do you feel restricting CBG hurts CTM that much? Yeah, I think it makes CTM almost unplayable. Like, this largely means that they're running big agendas, like things like SSL, which is still pretty good, but the deck can lose in, like, a lot of flimsy accesses. I think that's actually, like, a really big deal. Fuck, maybe we actually wanted to just Apocalypse, because this is a pretty good Apocalypse. We could wait for them to score and hit the team sponsorship, which will put them down to like 0 credits, and then we can Apocalypse. Apocalypse is also a good reason why we don't want to run, so that we can just like DDoS them. That's also pretty good. It's a shame because we're only gonna get 1 credit from our daily casts, but whatever. If we install this in the Amani Sanias, it'll be a bit awkward, but I think otherwise it'll be fine. So we'll just set up for the Apocalypse. That'd be really good for us. It will turn the strike off, but we can end our turn with a tag. Streaming on Wednesday. What is this madness? Can't stream tomorrow. I fucked that up. I did not realize. It is a daily business show. Perfect. I think they have probably 2 agendas in hand, 1 in server 1. Hopefully they don't score. And it looks like they can't afford to score this turn, which is so good for us. Because that server might be double MVT. Is Green Mail better as a 5-3 instead of GFI? Oh, this is going to be so gross. I think Degree Mill is okay. I think SSL is really good because it gives you money that you can punish. Degree Mill is, yeah, it's okay too. They can't res anything that's going to stop us. We're just going to go HQ. I don't even think we need a White Hat this turn. With White Hat, we could shuffle agendas in, but like, I don't think they have any more ice in their hand. This is good to shuffle away ice. We can White Hat next turn. Maybe we do White Hat because we can return the ice and so that they have nothing to do here. That's a C source. Not really scary. We're going to Apocalypse them. IP block. That's really good for us too. And because the strike is up. We're going to go for the Apocalypse. Yeah, this is beautiful. They went as wide as they could. They're going to feel really bad about this, unfortunately. Like, I don't think they can win after we wipe these many cards. 2 hard-hitting news in the bin. You got to be kidding. Deckless of the week, my friend. We don't have a choice. We'll wait a second in case there's anything they want to res, like Maryland's. Doesn't make that much sense. Actually, yeah, maybe not. Yeah. Decks of the week. I have no choice. Ouch is right. Like a truck. 10 cards in archives. Mumbed Virtual Tour. 2 hard aim news out. C-Source in hand. We can just like go ahead and white hat. 4 credits still on top of this face down card. No way to get to them. That was absolutely beautiful. CTM does want to EOI, but like they're not good at defending centrals, so you can like Maker's Eye and win really easily. The biggest thing about like if you're not playing Executive Bootcamp or sorry, Commercial Bankers Group is there's nothing that forces interaction. It's really cool in the Expoiled cards. There's a card that basically replaces Commercial Bankers Group, but is I think a bit more nuanced. But their hand probably is holding 3 agendas right now. I think we just white hat and then just white hat. Ice on HQ, that's probably the IP block. So again, we're in no pressure. We could run archives just to see what's up, but I want to dirty laundry it. Sports Hopper gives us a link. That's not good. This is okay. We should be able to play this. That's a Jinteki.net bug. I don't honestly know if we need any air breakers. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. I have no mouth and I must apocalypse. Draw credit. Threatening that C-Source. I think we're going to play this to probably to draw cards just because we have gambles in our deck. It costs us 2 to draw 4. That's not terrible. We can still dirty laundry archives out of it. This card we can also shuffle back in our deck if they are playing Degree Mill, and we know that they're not playing food, so that's pretty likely. Alright, we got it. Yeah, there, we got what we wanted. So we can check archives. It's not bad. We don't have 2 cards to shuffle, which is pretty bad. That's obnoxious. Yeah, there you go. So now they're gonna have a lot of money, so I think we're just gonna click for 3. So we trashed both the Beal and an SSL. 3 Mumbed Virtual Tours on the table. 2 of the only recursion cards. Well, we could actually win this turn, but they could C-Source us. There's nothing to C-Source exchange. I think the safest play here is just to like click for money. We could also make a run here and gain 1, but it's not really worth playing it. And Nexus is actually pretty good as well. I think we might just want a white hat. Maybe we just white hat here and shuffle away any punishment they have, because then they have to res this, which costs them more than us. Oh, the trace happens first. I totally forgot about that. I thought it was only on successful run. Oh, shit! This is not the way I thought it was. I thought you had to run HQ. I haven't played this card in such a long time. Okay. So, we don't want to deal with this. And then we know an HQ behind an IP block is 2 agendas. So they're going to be on 15 minutes exchange. So we're going to get rid of we're going to get rid of C-Source. And now we can in theory run HQ. I don't care. They have no ice for a remote. This is really gross. Yeah, I thought White Hat was like a run HQ card. I thought it was like Embezzle. It's been a while since I played Sonny, excuse me. Yeah, that's really brutal. Absolutely disgusting. SSL, going to give them the 7, but we have 7 when it comes to Link. And we know that they have the winning agenda in hand. If we hit the 15 minutes, it doesn't help us. 1 unknown card. And what was the other one, chat? I totally forgot. Close accounts. Close accounts, unknown, 15 Beal. So, like, in theory, we could just put down the Sports Hopper and, like, run through the... They're just going to go for the 15 minutes, it seems. Seems safe. That actually turns off the strike, which is cool. But now it's still 1-on-3 on the winning agenda, which is pretty good for us. We could just play Sports Hopper, run HQ, and they have to start boosting. If we take a tag, we can play this. So we'll just go through the IP block. We have 3 Link. There's a chance that we want to install this first before to get more value from this. But yeah, it's Trace 3, no boost. I don't think you res that if you don't boost. So we have a 1-3. Yeah, I think they realized the res here doesn't matter. Yep. Yeah, they can de-res that. If they're not boosting, it's just a waste of 2 credits. We also were pretty sure what it was. Terrence, how's it going? Wednesday. Welcome. 1-3, Beal, close accounts, 1 unknown card. Does this deck have same old thing? Because with Jackson Clare, you can use same old thing Apocalypse. I think that was mentioned in a write-up. I don't think it has same old thing, though. Oh. No, it doesn't. But they mentioned on the write-up that you can do some ridiculous things with White Hat Jack Sinclair. Oh, we found it 1 in 3. Alright, just noob. Ah, don't be too hard. Thanks for the game. That APOC was gross. That was such a good apocalypse. Oh my god. Decklist of the week. Keep your money up. Clicks matter. The trace matter. This current helps so much against the matchup. There's a big reason why this was the most popular current for such a long time when controlling the message was like a very competitive deck. You don't see that much of it. Last week you had a song which was played during intro. I cannot Shazam it, but I'd love to know the title. Maybe you can help out. I would have to listen to it. I don't know the names, but totally. Did you ask in a YouTube comment? Somebody asked in a YouTube comment. I haven't got to that yet. Okay, sweet. I saw that. I'll answer. Cool. Crowdfunding and Sonny due to Jack is so cool. And we have Amakua, right? Just tuning in. How's it going? Happy Wednesday if you're watching the VOD. We're a day early. I apologize. We were meant to stream tomorrow with Patrick, but I won't be here. So we decided to push this one a couple hours and a day early. How are you doing? Ciao. Let's do one more of this, and then we'll dive into the new cards. Again, all the Corp cards were revealed for the upcoming Downfall cycle. I think it was like 13 cards we didn't know all at once, which is a lot. It's almost like a full data pack, right? Let alone all the cards will be released on Monday. And on top of that, maybe we'll try and play some as today. It's not on JNet, so none of the cards are implemented here. So we'll probably just like do it manually, which is going to be really clumsy and probably not very sexy, but we'll figure it out. Superhero Nation, that's a new name. Tenon. I think last week we got killed by Tenon. Tenon's really good. If they advance their ice, we can apocalypse it, which is sweet. We want to run every turn. Actually, they're probably not that good at fast advancing out, so we can just play Employee Strike, go slow with Caddy, Office Supplies. I like this hand a fair bit. Thanks, you too. Congo Mata Gabali, these sort of cards are actually not that good against Tenon or Jinteki because they have a lot of ice with multiple subroutines. If they're playing advanceable ice, a lot of that is just end the run. I'm looking at you, Ice Wall, Firewall, I guess. Masfingo is a bit better, I guess. But this hand's not ass. It's a good start, right? 10 Institute, by the way, if we don't make a successful run, they could put a token on a card. This deck also only has 1 DDoS, which is worth knowing, and we totally used that really well last game. How's it going? Didn't expect that out of Sonny. Yeah, that's a problem. Decklist of the week. I was worried that our thanks for the game, firstly, but I was worried that like our ideas would have been spoiled off the bat. But yeah, that was a brutal apocalypse. Ice R&D, again, want to make sure we don't make successful runs. Could be Crisium Grid. They could just ice everything up. It looks like they're actually going for a remote server. You don't see that a lot with Tenon, but you can get some pretty cool value with Tenon. So that means that they're actually probably rushing a bit more. We do have 1 anti-rush card here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we can just get away with like Employee Strike, Caddy Jones, load Caddy Jones, install Armitage, and next turn burst up with Office Supplies. This is actually probably not the most worth it this turn. I don't know if they play a current. The Jinteki currents really don't hose us that bad. So we'll install this. Well, I guess, yeah, we'll set up. We'll go for the slow game. And then next turn, we can take 2, draw, and it'll hopefully be okay. Looks like they might just jam here. It could be a 3-2, actually likely to be a 3-1 if anything, maybe even a Rashida. So this is not going to last very long, but the 3-2 Brain Trust is no longer in the card pool that we're playing with. This we should be able to play. Oh, looks like we can. It just doesn't highlight it. So we'll draw 4 cards. Got the Jack Sinclair, even got the Nexus, got the DDoS, looking for 3 Apocalypse to be able to close the game off. Again, could be an agenda. We actually could have taken Armitage and put down Jack to get the free run on Archives, but whatever. Jack was only 1 credit to install. We could have done that turn as well. The highlights are pretty bad here, but they're just not working. All right, IPO, they got the money. Don't know what this is. Could be Marcus Batty. Could just be Proper Glacier. That would be kind of cool. I kind of do like the Jack Sinclair, but we don't really need it. And they're going to be icing Archives or poisoning Archives anyways if they want to stop the unsuccessful run. So it doesn't seem that necessary. I think we want to draw once. Sherman coming down again. As soon as we start committing breakers to the table, Apocalypse is pretty rough for us. And Shrike is the only one that's a 1 of. And I don't know what Shrike is. It's Sentry Breaker, which seems pretty relevant in the matchup. But we don't have an Apocalypse yet. So I don't actually want to play this. It's cool if they ice up everything, but we'll just play a slow and steady game of Netrunner. We probably want to draw once more here. We could have committed this to the table. This is not really a surprise. And this is actually not that good a lot of times. Committing more ice feels good. Going for the double advance. So if we want, we could take Caddy. We could Security Nexus run. We can install this. Caddy, install, run. As soon as we get the Nexus down, Apocalypse looks way less sexy. And if this is a matchup, if any matchup where we really want to Apocalypse them. So if this is a 5-3, if it's an SSL, it's kind of bad. If it's an Obokata, like whatever, it clears the current, but we have other ways. So I really don't mind if they score an agenda here. I think we're in on the Apocalypse for sure. And Caddy Jones is going to be a bit rough with Apocalypse as well. Office Supplies, that will draw us into Apocalypse. But we can play Office Supplies next turn with Jackson Clare as well. So I think we'll just set up for the Apocalypse and hopefully we draw it. We'll install this. We'll take the money. So next turn, we can run Archives for free. Pop this. Still get the Apocalypse. Let's see what this is first. Hopefully not an Nisei token. It's just the SSL. So that was the worst case scenario. So we can make a freak run here. So we'll run Archives. Turns off their ability. And it means that we only have to spend 2 more clicks running Centrals. So we'll go ahead and draw the Apocalypse. We did not find it. We did find a white hat. So we can goof their hand up a wee bit. And like, I don't want to play the Nexus because I want an Apocalypse because they already have 4 ice on the table and their ice is probably pretty mean. So that's kind of rough. We could just white hat here to slow them down. We have 3 of these. This is not that bad. So they can boost the trace here. We can probably just get down our Gabali and Kangamato and go, hey, Picori, how you doing? Welcome. Wednesday stream, huh? We'll boost 1, see their hand. So mass comms, we know they're advancing stuff. Preemptive action, that's recursion. Clones are not people. That's so important to know because that will close the game off. And IPO means they can res their stuff, so they don't get this. Mass comms, they have to advance their ice manually. Clones are not people, but no ice in hand. That's really good to know. I think we might want to just like slam these down and next turn we'll start drawing. We also could hit Caddy up, which isn't that bad. I just don't know how much money we're possibly going to need. There's a chance that Armitage will just be better for clicks for actions, clicks for credits. So I think we'll just put down this bad boy. I just don't want to hit this. I don't know. They're not going to be scoring anytime soon, so whatever. Yeah, we'll take the Caddy. Classes of pocket tunnel vision. Yeah, that's a problem, right? And Sanjay said it in the matchup, like sometimes you just want to play the Nexus and play Control, which we probably could get away with because they're not a fast deck. We have our breakers. How's it going? Epoch Sonny is spicy decklist of the week. Chris, not really our choice. Shout outs to Sanjay. It's going okay. Card and remote, this is unknown. They drew 2 unknown cards. They protected archives. So wait, everything's unknown. These are the 2 unknown cards. So in theory, we should know everything in hand. Chat, do you remember what it was? I don't. And we could run archives. We could force them to res. Worst case is a sentry. Actually want to run server 1 here because if they res this ice, it's not that bad for us. DNA tracker would put them down to like 4 credits. 3 credits. May I res? Yep, totally. So we just can't use programs during this run. That's the only condition. Ah, beans. All right, well, that's really bad for us. We lost both of our fractors. Oh, because they're asking because of DDoS. Okay, so we can keep 1 card in hand by using the Gabali. And now that fires. That's really bad. So we lost our whole hand. Oh, mass come preemptive, thank you. So Sherman's out, Nexus is out, so we're definitely straight on Apocalypse. We can't continue running here because we will die. It's very likely we will die, so we're just going to go ahead and jack out. We did not make a successful run, but they're down in 6 credits. Well, that sucks. Found it. We will do that next turn. We might as well pop this, right? Because we're going to Apocalypse next turn, it's useless. Unless they put another ice on the server, but they have to top deck it and install it and res it, which just seems unlikely. Oh, we had 4 clicks. Yeah, of course. Okay, whatever. I think we're still in an okay spot. Obviously, losing the Nexus there was bad. Rashida's going to draw 3, give them 3 credits, so their hand will be fresh. Best case scenario here, they install Advance. Did not make a successful run. Mass Comm for 2 credits, not so good. No kidding. Got to get caught up. Hey, welcome. SSL giving them the 11. Install Advance. Please advance once more. They could Mass Comm here for 4. Be pretty good. Now, the problem with this card is that if we access... Okay, so they're doing double on archives. That can be pretty scary. We'll use DDoS, run archives. So we can't use programs. It doesn't really matter. Crazy anti-apocalypse play. So this is cool on archives, I guess. So if this has more than one subroutine or does multiple damage, it'll be an issue. We can break the last one, which is the most relevant one, but they realize we're on apocalypse for sure. NGO front, giving them the 15, res the big old Chiashi or something. Oh, we called it. So this is actually going to wipe our whole hand. Now they did just res this, which is pretty bad. We can get through the end of the run, but no matter what, we're going to lose our whole hand, so we're going to lose the apocalypse. I'm really glad we obviously didn't dirty laundry this. So actually using the Cabal here doesn't matter because we can't really apocalypse, so that can all fire. This is going really poorly for us. So that's just 4 damage off the top. We don't have a Nexus. They're playing really big ice. So we lost an apocalypse. Don't worry, we have more of those. All right, so what can kill us? 3 credits, not that much can kill us. So I still think we want to run Centrals. They can't fire Snare. Breach Dome will kill us. Maybe we'll draw 1. This deck is likely to run Breach Dome. We probably want to play this to draw cards. Okay, we can have a Sentry Breaker. You can get the lucky top deck. Oh, I don't know about that. You're right, we could have if we broke it. Now the DDoS is gone, which is the worst thing because we have no way to break barriers. We might actually just be locked out of the game really soon. Maybe the run on this remote was bad. I just don't expect this card in this deck, maybe? Maybe not. We can expose ice and make a run. I think money's fine. Actually, we probably had a lot of money. Probably knowing what their ice is better than the money here. The 3 cards didn't matter that much. We know 2 cards on HQ, so I don't love it. Here we'll probably make a successful run. They can't res any of this outermost ice. Standard procedure. Interesting. We play with low hand size. We play around that. We'll run HQ last click. Half the cards we know. Aiki, how's it going, Tom Toms? Aiki won't kill us. But you're right, it could be Aiki. As a hedge fund in hand, so we know 3 cards in hand. Really terrible turn. Like, Cortex Lock is fine. We'll Gabalia. We need something with multiple subroutines that do damage. Cortex wouldn't be great. Card and remote server. We do have the Sentry Breaker. We actually get through this for 2 credits, which is really sweet. But they're ops on 10. Again, we have no way to break the Chiashi, so I think we can't Apocalypse anymore. We have no anything. I don't know if we can win anymore. We lost our Nexus. Maybe we want to just Nexus this game. But again, Apocalypse for this deck seems so good. I think we have no more strikes as well. So DNA Tracker will kill us here. We probably can let this one go through. I want to install this before we lose it to like standard procedure Salem's or something spicy. This is really rough. This is gonna be really rough. I don't know if I said hi, Tom Toms. How you doing? So could be second Rashida. Looks like it is just maybe a 4-2. That'd be bad. So we didn't run. They're going straight for the Glacier again. Apocalypse would be super good, but we have no way through Chiashi, so Apocalypse is off. Looks like they're going for the double advance. I think we can take the money and just run this. So what's the worst case here? I like your deck concept. That's technically not ours, but we'll take it. I think we want to just pop this. It makes DNA Tracker worse, or Kamine worse, but in theory it doesn't because of this, so we'll pop it. We got another Apocalypse again. Not something we can really afford to do here. It's just not physically possible. In our deck, we have no more Fractors. We have 2 copies of Killers, or sorry, Decoders. DNA Tracker no longer kills us. How much is it to break Chiashi? 6. Obokata could be. We haven't seen a restricted card. Oh, we actually, in theory, can Apocalypse. We just have to be very lucky and like Sports Hopper first. So we can actually Apocalypse. We just have to make sure that the 4 net damage doesn't hit one of these, which is going to be really hard. I think at most we'll have like 8 cards in hand, so we have to do like a 50-50. Then we also have to get through all this. Chiashi is a barrier. We just don't have a barrier breaker. More money won't matter because we can already get through basically 2, 4, 6, 3. It has to be like 3 sentries in a row for money to matter. Whatever. Let's go. I don't think we've seen any ice. It's a DNA Tracker, so that fires. We're down to 3 credits, so we can't steal Obokata anymore. There's no amount of drawing that turn. Actually, probably playing as Sports Hopper was not wrong, so this is going to fire. We could save a credit and 1 net damage, but I think this has more value if we ever want to like Panic Apocalypse, because this is the only way we can ever get through a Chiashi. So we'll let this fire. Please keep the hopper, I guess. Or the apocalypse is good too. Oh, now we can't be wrong. Okay, called it. All right. Oh, we lost a lot of money on that. Okay, so we die to any sentry that has multiple net damage. Yagura, we can technically not break. That won't kill us. I think we're safe. We can't steal Fetal. We will die to Fetal AI here. Okay, it's an Obokata. It's a restricted card. They can score that. Okay, so that's the restricted. It doesn't really change anything. Now, they can't play the current and score this to win. It looks like they may only be on, like, what, 7 agendas? Only 3-pointers? They also could be on, like, Red Planet Couriers, but then they need Biotic or something. Oh! Oh, we have Turtle. Oh, we do have Turtle. She actually eats Turtle. So that's her second Apocalypse. Oh, Turtle seems okay. Running Essential seems pretty unlikely to get an agenda considering we know their agenda suite. The cool thing is if they have to score this, which they don't, we can probably like capitalize on that. I'll just get some money. This is really rough. If they score it, they have to score another 5-3, which is good. It looks like they're going to drop and not draw gain 2, putting them on a Komainu. We can make a free run here. Doesn't seem great. I think we just want to play as defensive as possible. Now, they have the credits, but they don't have enough clicks to play the current and then triple advance this. If we don't run, we can lose. If we don't make a successful run, we can lose this turn. Because they can play the current if they have it, get a free advance, and then do it advance, and then we lose. It's a 4 credit play. So I think we're going to do a jack run. We'll run R&D. We can't use programs. Because we have to make a successful run, and we're not going to have enough time to put Amakua down and run. Okay, this is the Aiki. This is fine-ish. So at least we're going to get a successful run here. So this fires. We can pay 1 credit generally to draw 2 cards. Yeah, we have 3 turtles. I totally forgot about that. She actually still is pretty... It's kind of a bear. We'll see what they played. Okay, they paid 0, so we do have the white hat, which is cool because we can shuffle away their current. We're going to take 2 damage. Lost the sports hopper. Lost the turtle. Feels bad. We do die to snare here. It's Rashida. They don't really have a good server for Rashida. I think it's okay that they keep that. I think our money matters more. Okay. This is really rough. I think we won't lose before Caddy. Maybe we do lose Caddy. Yeah, whatever, we'll lose Caddy. Yeah, if we didn't make a successful run there, they put an advancement token on it, maybe play the current advance, we lose. Mass commercialization gives them a nice 4 advance. So they definitely have the current in hand, so we have to shuffle it away with white hat. Not an option to not do that. So we have to keep the white hat, so we can consider running HQ. It's pretty bad. I think we might want to run the Aiki and just like risk it, because like we lose here. We have no other way to get into here, I don't think. We need a white hat this turn 100% of the time. We have to white hat. So we can't use programs. We could actually get through one of the net damage. I think we're going to risk it. We probably draw 2 here. I think we paid 2 credits, but then we don't have enough for the trays. All right, so we just can't lose this card. Good? Good-ish? Good enough? Successful run. Can't take more damage here. Obokata off the top. Can't steal that. That's pretty good. So we can go up to 7, and then we can fire this, which means we definitely get rid of the current. It's going to shuffle their deck too, so they're not going to be drawing Obokata. There's a chance they draw the current again. I imagine there's 2 in their deck. So we have to take this, right? I'll put us on 7. This is trace 3. If they do all their money, it's 3 plus 8, which is 11. We would have 7, 8, 9. So actually, no, we have to do this. Click for 2, play this. We're behind by 1. Yeah, we have to play this. Do we install Armitage? If we install Armitage, it costs 1. Then we can do Armitage, which gives us 5. It's the same as Caddy. This is 3, and then we do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we have 9 plus 2, which is 11, and they can do 8, 9, 10, 11, which would be 11. So it'd be both of all of our money. So I think if the math is right, this is technically the same. Oh, the math was wrong. Yeah, the math was wrong. Hold on. That's very kind. So how much were we on at the beginning? So we installed for 1, we gained, so we should be 5 fewer. Yeah. Nah, this is fine. Okay, so we ran for free with Jack. Is this right so far, chat? We overdid by 5. Right? Because we installed tick 6. Yeah, so that's 5 is right. Okay, so we're just going to take all this money. Okay, this is better. So now we don't lose. Unless they have 3 copies of it. They don't even have the current. Huh. How's it going, Parallel? Not exactly. All right, so what do we not want? Good evening. I can't stream tomorrow. I gotta do it today. So preemptive puts back money. We'll lose before that. We are now, in theory, there's a chance that they will draw the current, so we could say none here if we wanted to not shuffle the deck. Actually, maybe this shuffles regardless. No, it's only if we shuffle them. So in theory, maybe shuffling nothing is the right play. Because if we shuffle, they don't draw the Obokata, and then they could draw the current, and we could lose. So I think we're actually going to shuffle nothing. Chad, is that crazy? I think that's right. I think we shuffle nothing. Because these cards are not good. That's fucking wild. We know they have freedom. Or not freedom. What's the other one called? Clones are not people. So there's a small chance that we force them to draw it. If we shuffle. Now they're drawing Obokata, which is a bad draw. They could go advance, jam Obokata, which takes a couple more turns to close the game out. Not the worst. Just throw your own cards in the trash. Sorry? To play around what? Standard procedure? Draws 1 unknown card. New server. Looks like it's IP block Rashida, which is something we can chase down relatively well. In fact, we will John Masnoria. This is actually a liability because now it's an easier, hopefully, server to run, especially if it's only a trace, so that we can get through it and turn their ability off, which isn't that necessary. Oh, it's an envelope. Well, that's going to be an issue. At least they can't do the play. So that's another barrier we can't get through. How's this deck been doing tonight? How's it going, Zach? This matchup, we got some really bad net damage. We lost both of our Fractors, and we opened with the Security Nexus, which is the worst case. And then they double iced and they had the Chiashi, which is one of the only ices that will keep us out from the Apocalypse. Unfortunately, like they needed a lot of net damage. So it's going pretty poorly. Maybe we should have just like stuck the Security Nexus play, but then this deck is like so weak against Apocalypse. So it's okay. We played against CTM and it was like absolutely brutal. What does this one do? Oh yeah, right. Okay, well we did make a successful run. So they still don't have a really good play there. If this is on 4, they do, because they can score and then install advance next turn. We can't steal the Obokata from hand. So I think we're just gonna... Ooh. This could draw. I just don't know what we possibly find. I guess another Amakua. It's gonna be really hard. That's gonna be really, really, really hard. I think we have to draw with this. 4 cards puts us at 6. Doesn't seem great. Store. We might have to do this Armitage, but I just don't know if it's enough. Yeah, probably is. Okay. Okay, let's try this. Stealing Obokata is going to be really difficult. Again, we have a 50 card deck, which helps us against those net damage decks. Rashida's firing. Also, again, a chance that we lose here. Yeah, if they draw the current, we still lose because they have exactly 4 credits, which is play the current for 3, advance once, which would be 5. So that's it. If they draw it. And they're mandatory draw. So in 4 cards, they have to find the current. Probably 2 of it. Looks like they don't have it. Just getting money. Not scoring this. Not at all scoring this. That's interesting. Probably throwing the IP block, maybe the preemptive as well. We can make a free run. We could get through the A key, but I think we want these cards. This card draws a lot. We're not going to make a successful run. Thank you. Let's draw. All right, so we got both our turtles. We do have one exposed, so we can get through a 1 strength ice. That's generally not going to be enough, so we have to hope HQ is good enough, which it unlikely is to be. We have no other exposed cards besides Deuce's Wild. So they're basically going to score this for free, or they're going to fire this last Rashida. If they don't draw the current, they have just score this for free regardless, and then they install advance and jam, and we just can't interact with them because we don't have a fractor. We could risk that this isn't a DNA tracker, and then we could steal the Obokata. That's maybe the best case here. So if this isn't a non-C, it's bad, because then they can make sure that they draw the current. That's largely it. I guess we have to risk it, right? Oh. Cool, we can't even lose credits. This is fine. We only lose 2. We also know what we're drawing into. Sure gamble, daily. All right, we got the full suite. We got the suite. So this only makes us lose 2 credits. That's fine. All right. So we know we're drawing a gamble, which is a bad draw. We can steal an Obokata here, which would be pretty good. We found the Anansi that they wish they had on HQ. Going to get that Amakua counter. We know that the security chip is down 2 cards, which we actually could put to the top. So I think we just keep running this over and over again because we don't have cards to lose. And they're not going to be able to put 3 more advancements on this. So it's resource hardware event. Again, still nothing. The security chip is pretty valuable. I'll put this at 4 strength, which begins to be cool. Found the envelope. Okay. If it says the runner loses 3, does that affect you with 2 credits? It does. The ability will try and do as much of it as possible. The only thing that doesn't fire is if it says the runner loses 3 credits if able. If it says if able, then you can't, because you have to have the ability. But if it just says the runner loses 3, you have to do as much as possible. David, how's it going? That's a hell of a lot of credits worth of res dice. Yeah, we can't apocalypse them. How's it going, David? Congrats on this set. Really cool to see all the cards today. Okay, so one of these could easily be an Anansi, which will be expensive. The other one could easily be an envelope, which we can't break. I think we're locked out. Well, in theory, we could run archives. Take 4 damage. We know there's a security chip on top, which will give us 2 link, make this 4, which is not enough for an Anansi. It's enough for 1 run on the envelope. We also could get this up to 3 strength by exposing, so we can find out where the envelope is and run this. So we could be like, oh, that's an envelope, run here. But then eventually they just purge and we lose. So we have to do like everything at once. We have no money, so we actually can't play this. Okay, that's an issue. So they're going to score this for free and then next turn jam the next Obokata. I think we're just like really holding on here. By holding on, I mean not holding on. Wait. Oh, I thought that was a security chip. That's unfortunate. I think playing the caddy was wrong. We just don't have enough clicks. I think I'm probably just like mashing arbitrage would be better in the long run. Whoa! Whoa! What's this? What is this? Bias reporting. Have the full hand. They know what we're drawing into. This just gives money. Oh wait, what's bias reporting? Oh, it's the different one. Oh, I don't like this card. I thought this was standard procedure. Oh, I guess they have both. No, that's fine. You can get money. It doesn't matter. Gain 8. We could have trashed one of our cards. I think actually Jackson Clare is worth trashing. No idea what this is. That's probably the second Obokata, right? What are they doing? Yeah, we actually maybe wanted to trash that. The credit for us matters. Okay. Cheers, dude. So awesome to see so much excitement about it. Looking forward to trebucheting some fools. That's a gross piece of ice. Okay, so can we charge the server? We can. We can actually get this Obokata. Assuming it's an Obokata. If it's an NGO front, we'll look really dumb. Do we want to risk that's the Obokata? I think we might want to. So we draw, we install the security chip, we take Caddy, and then we like Deuces Wild, this remote. That'll put us at 5 strength, which might actually not be necessary to use the security chip. Whatever, we'll do it. And we can draw first too. Okay, so we could Deuces Wild this remote. We'll be able to get through anything of 5 strength or higher, so like DNA Tracker would be bad. The thing with DNA Tracker, it'll put us on 2 field cards to steal Obokata anyways. If this is an NGO, we look hella dumb. This is likely an Obokata. There's a chance this is a second Obokata. I just don't understand their play here. This feels suspicious, chat. What do you think? Like, this might actually just be an NGO. We can get through, we only have 5 link. We almost are at the point where we could charge this server. The thing is, we can't. We're 1 strength short of this one. And this is only for 1 run. Fuck it. I think we have to. This has to be it. We'll have enough credits. 8 credits? This is 2. This will probably be like 3. Please no Chiashi. It's an IP block. Oh. Okay. So we actually have to still pop this? We will take a tag. Actually, we don't have to pop this. Hold on. We could just like Gabali this. So we have a tag which we can clear. So we could just Gabali this. Which still has like a lot of value. Otherwise we have to pop the security chip. The security chip has some value. I just don't know how many more deuces we have in our deck. Oh, that's the last deuces. The security chip doesn't have that much value. Yeah. The trace they could also boost. Okay, whatever. We'll just pop it. You can fire the trace. This might be wrong. We might just want to do the Nexus. What if server one's an NGO? How's it going, Nick? That's the ultimate. So we can clear the tag as our last click. We can also draw up, which isn't that bad either, especially if we steal that. Like, I don't know if we died a punitive or something. I doubt it. This is going to be an NGO. Oh, wow, okay. Alright, so we can draw 2 cards, which means we don't add to Neural if they're on Neural. Which doesn't seem entirely likely. Or we can just gain 3 credits. Or, sorry, draw 2 cards. The tag, they could trash Caddy, which would be kind of bad. Our money is actually pretty low, so I think we'll actually just remove the tag, and we die to 1 source of damage. So if they have Neural, Punitive also kills us. They, in theory, could. So just the Purge makes a lot of sense. We still only have 2 link. I think we're just going to be drawing up this turn. No, thank you. Taunting us, that one. White Hat's cute. That's not particularly good. I don't think we can score. Again, if they just draw the current, they win. So I don't know how many they have. I hope they have 2, because it's a really cool combo. That current is really strong. Offer You Can't Refuse also wouldn't be that good on this one, I guess. Oh, Offer You Can't Refuse wouldn't be good just because R&D looks a bit flimsy. But they have the agenda, so they just want to find something and install Advance. We're just running out of cards here. We know that's the second Obokata, though. Card in server 2. Could be the Rashida. I just don't know why this game is going on this long. I feel like they could have closed it by now. Like, it can just score server 1. They could have just scored this and jammed the other Obokata. I don't know why they're dragging it on. What current are you referring to? Have I said the word current a lot? I don't know what current I'm referring to. Oh, I do. Clones Are Not People, which says an agenda is worth 1 more agenda point. Thanks, Rob. So we have no way to get through this besides, I think we used all 3 Gabahalis. No, we have 1 more Gabahali. The server is approachable. Oh, Kangomaro. If we have 7 cards in hand, we actually could have charged this remote server, which is pretty wild. Assuming this doesn't end the run. I don't want to discard a card. That seems way wrong. This will not pay off soon enough. Actually, yeah, discarding a card is a problem because we know that they're on Obokata. I don't know why there's not scoring this. Again, if this is a Rashida, they probably draw into a current and win, but like our best chance is that they don't. I want to keep cards in hand. I think we'll just install this, and the next turn we can maybe do draw, run this remote. Didn't realize daylight saving time was stealing a whole day. It's a lot of savings. There's a Rashida. They can draw 3 here, find the current. It looks like they're just waiting for that. I think they could have just jammed a second agenda. Oh, they found it. Good game. That's the current we're talking about, which says the agenda's worth 1 more point. Yeah, we got absolutely locked out of that game. I don't think we could access anything. Could you kindly res all? All right, they're going for the Resol. So this we could have got through. This is what we thought it was, worst case, and the envelope would also be really difficult too. Hey, cheers. All right, yeah, losing our breakers at the beginning was a problem. We have 2 fractors. That sucks. They're generally very expensive, but they really have no tricks here. Like if we can get through all of these, we can get through all of these, and that's all it is. We also, I think we have 1 more decoder in the deck. Oh, both our decoders are at the bottom. That's also really unlucky. Like we have no way to tutor for that, and if you don't get your Amakua up, like this is going to be an issue. So we legitimately could have gone the whole game without being able to break DNA Tracker. So if we can't get off an Apocalypse, yikes. Anyways, that's a cool deck. That's the only thing, and like Sanjay talks about in the write-up, that sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes you just play Nexus and go. It's really funny to play one of the most expensive cards in a deck that wants to rip its own self up. And maybe we should have like still played Security Nexus and then gone for the Apocalypse anyways. Which honestly may not have been that bad, but we were struggling for econ, but it is what it is. Cool. We're just tuning in. Welcome. It's a Wednesday. If you're watching the VOD, how's it going Wednesday? Huh? Ochakan, how you doing? What did I miss? Just the deck list of the week. We Apocalypse some people pretty well. That game was much harder sell for us. Out of 10, give them any dollar dues. What's it called? Mass commercialization? Played a bias reporting too. So hey, this is the big thing that came out today. Hopefully, maybe this is the first time you've seen it. I don't know. Has everyone seen this so far? So I plan to do in the near future to talk a bit like in depth, do faction by faction videos talking about these cards. But we've seen all the corp cards here, which is like what, a bit more than half of 65. There's a fair bit of cards here. I think there was actually a fair few that weren't unrevealed till like 4 o'clock today, where they all came out. I just want to kind of go through it and talk really quickly at face value what I think about some of the cards, especially some of the ones that were just revealed today, because I think we've talked about some of the other ones before because we've seen them for a couple weeks now. If you want to avoid spoilers, maybe pop out, but like these come out on Monday, so you're not that far ahead of the curve, maybe. I would also in chat would love to hear the sort of combos that I'm missing. And what kind of cool things you're excited to play as, because I think a lot of these cards are pretty flexible and you see some pretty cool stuff in here. I think actually I was like pretty impressed by HB. I need to go watch Bayokin's video that explains exactly what 3 different actions mean. I think it's probably pretty straightforward in what it looks like, but this is an ability that gives you value, which I think is pretty cool. But we haven't seen I think 2 of these HB cards, and I think at least one of them is like incredibly relevant and I'm actually incredibly scared of and also excited to play. We have a 4-2 agenda that lets you install and res a card. This is kind of like accelerated beta test without the beta part of it. It's just an accelerated test, which I love that. It's like architect test. It's kind of like an homage to some extent. I think that's cool. This card competes directly with the other 4-2, remote enforcement, which has less variance associated to it, but also has more restricted in the fact that it has to be in ice and it has to go on a remote server. So this is kind of cool. It also just lets you look at the top 5 cards of your stack, which is not bad. I think Hagen's awesome. I think it's a really strong piece of ice. This is like really good turtle hate too, and it's not a bad card. We've seen a lot of cards like that you put in your deck that are like deal with AI, but are also kind of like subpar generally. Like they're not great in any matchup that doesn't run AI, like Swordsman, stuff like that. Hortum isn't bad, but it needs a lot of work. And Hagen actually deals with AI relatively well. If someone runs a turtle and starts face checking things, like I don't think by no means that this is a bad ice. And that's what you saw with cards like IP block. Like on its own, IP block is like not a bad piece of ice. And so you see it everywhere because AI are really popular, and on its own it's like not the worst. And Hagen feels like the same thing. I don't think people are going to be splashing this, but in HB, that's like really, really cool. Also, like it is technically a somewhat mean subroutine on a barrier, and people generally don't face check with fractors against HB, let alone any faction. So like this has a chance of firing pretty cool, which is good. The other thing I want to talk about is Cold Sight Server, which is wild. This was also revealed today. Hagen wasn't, mind you, but this is an upgrade that is incredibly powerful. Whoa! I think there's reasons to play this in just about any faction. I think the best combination with this is probably with a Jeeves. Like, you can go ahead and just click this 3 times and install a card in the remote server, and good fucking luck getting in that remote server. If you don't have breakers, you're basically not getting in. Then next turn, if it doesn't protect your Jeeves, mind you, but next turn you can just like quadruple advance if they don't trash their Jeeves. I think this is crazy. Any turn, basically, if you have a Jeeves in your deck, you can install a card on the server, assuming it's a 3-2 or 4-2, and then just like smash this button a whole lot. I think that's crazy. I definitely get extra value with this when it comes to things like Mirror Morph, but like play Cold Sight Server with play Cold Sight Server on top of it. Oh, with Efficiency Committee, yeah, actually really cool too, Jim. I wouldn't think of that. That's awesome. But like play this card. And also play Border Patrol or Control. I never know the name. Play some Border Control, right? Like advances 3 times with the Border Control in the remote. Play Satyr maybe so you can recur Border Controls. You can't get in the remote. You really can't. That's cool. And it's not an additional cost to run this server. That's for the whole turn. It's not like the first run. So like that's nuts. So this plus Border Control gets like multiplicative value. If you trash the Border Control, now they have to spend 2 clicks running this twice. Or 4 clicks, I mean, running this twice. It's crazy. This card is influenced maybe too little. I think with 3, you might actually see it out of faction. There's other decks that like tax out where you're running like Mati with this could be possible. RP, Ag Infusion, all that like Jinteki Glacier. But this card is really good. Also talk about this with like Restore, and Restore is like a totally underplayed card that if you have strong upgrades or assets, it lets you install and res them at like really unprecedented speed, which is not a big issue because this costs 0 and is not unique, so you can get this anywhere. Yeah, 3 click Cold Sight Jeeves, click MCA. Yeah, MCA and this is also crazy. Like they protect each other. MCA and this are also different actions, so like it fires a Mirror Morph. This card is crazy. Also Fairchild 3 is like annoying, and this makes it so much harder to get through. How's it going, Horse? This is crazy. Wow, what a card. Red level clearance also, I've been thinking about this more and more, and this is one of those cards that like the sort of people that play, wow, the sort of people, but like, you know, the people who play, if you've seen the combo sort of like food decks, not food, what's it called, sports decks. This card is actually really cool, and I'm not going to go too deep down the rabbit hole because I don't know if I can really well, but the idea that this is an operation that gives you a click back reminds me a lot of, and this card recurred itself a lot, and it's actually one of my favorite Netrunner cards, but Subliminal Messaging. Subliminal Messaging actually saw a fair bit of play in combo decks because you could play this with other like weird combo ways, cards like Accelerated Diagnostics that are no longer in the game. But the idea is with this, you can basically play this, get some value, and then get the click back, which is really cool because it's basically you played an operation that didn't take an action, which you might think, why is that good? Well, it combos with some other weird stuff, like with Jeeves. You can do some cool things, like you install and then play 2 operations and get a click back, so you can combo with like Biotic Labor and play 3 operations on your turn. It combos with like Work Crew in some interesting ways. I think that's like super flexible, and that actually might be the thing that sees more play out of any of the options, if I'm just guessing, and specifically in combo decks, that if you want to play 3 operations in a turn, this is an operation that doesn't cost you a click, which makes Jeeves have a lot more value suddenly. Byroad Work Crew also, like you can install a card and still have 3 clicks left. With Biotic you could do it too, but this card like is just easier to play, right, to some extent. I don't know, I think that's wild. I've seen conversations about this on Reddit. People are talking about, whoa, it's really cool that Jinteki now has a 3-2 that isn't but or like has text on it that's actually like valid, because the last 3-2 that was in Jinteki was Brain Trust, and I think I've only seen it once ever in my whole career playing Netrunner where someone's over advanced a Brain Trust, and I did that just to see what it would do, and then like you forget about it 5 turns in. And I think this is really, really strong for a couple reasons. Firstly, it's a 3-2, which on its own is fine. Like out of actually any faction, Jinteki, I think, has the most fast advance cards in faction, and now they'll have a 3-2. Mind you, Brain Trust is not in the system core for Nisei tournaments, so this is a really big deal for that. And I think we talked about that originally. We said like, oh, they're losing Brain Trust, but it's very likely that Nisei will design them a 3-2. But on top of that, Project Yagi Uda, the ability on this card is really strong. In some ways, I know it requires a bit more setup, but this looks like a Nisei Mark II to me. So at any paid ability window, you can swap a card in or protecting that server. Sorry, swap a card in HQ with a card in or protecting that a server that somebody's running on. and a runner can jack out. So you can't be like, oh, I'm going to swap this for a trap, and then they have to access it, which would be like pretty busted. So they can still jack out. So you can never force someone to trap, but you still have that like a Yomi, Toshiyuki, Sakai sort of headspace to be like, ooh, is this a trap or not? Maybe it isn't. But I just want to point out a couple things. Firstly, swap a card means that it if I'm not mistaken, you keep the advancement tokens on the card. So basically at any point in time, like you can install advance an agenda. And then if you've scored one of these, and by scored I mean over advanced it, so it's a 4-2. Sometimes you can even score it as a 5-2, so this ability can fire twice in a game. And then they run it, and then before they access, you swap it with an NGO front, and you can still res it and gain 8. Like that's nuts. That's legitimately nuts if that ever fires, and I don't think that's that impossible. Like, to me, this seems like a Nisei Mark II. As long as you have a card to swap with the card in the server. I thought it was the opposite. Sorry, Rob, what's the opposite? Am I totally wrong on this? Sorry, that isn't how it's worked. Fuck. Okay, good. That makes sense. That would be busted. It doesn't keep advancement counters? David also in Devatus is saying in YouTube that's not how it works. Okay, so let's figure out how this works before we goof this up. I thought swapping kept counters. I looked up Toshiyuki Sakai, and that's what it said on it. Am I not wrong? Am I wrong, I mean? Okay, so it doesn't. So you just swap the cards, and so you lose the counters. I'm assuming that's what it is. It's like Daruma. Oh yeah, Daruma has similar text, huh? And nobody plays Daruma. When the runner approaches the server, if you do swap an install card in the server with either another card installed on the server or with an asset agenda upgrade from AQ. Okay, so it doesn't keep tokens? Toshiyuki says specifically to keep them. Oh, fuck me. Oh, okay. I could have read that. Thank you. Toshiyuki's an exception. Oh, I shouldn't have looked for the exception. So it's like Daruma. This card doesn't see that much play. I think there's better options, but it's a cool card. Okay, so it's still okay. The NGO front thing can happen, but as long as you have something to put in the remote server, it can be like an upgrade. It can be whatever sacrificial lamb. And in some extent, to like a Mati Glacier deck, that can be like another Nisei token, which is pretty strong considering you can make pretty good, pretty strong servers. Also, you can swap ice. So as long as you do it at the right time, you can get like the border patrol control in there, which this card probably got a bit worse with Lucky Charm being around. But like that's still really strong. It's like a Mati ability to some extent, but you're swapping, not reinstalling, and then your ice is rezzed and unrezzed. So it's a bunch harder. But I still think that's pretty valid, and I think you might want to try and over advance it as long as you have the right deck to do it. Again, if you're maybe playing Glacier Mati with 1 or 2 snares, that's fine. Wesley, how's it going? I don't know if swapping keeps the counters unless the card. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't. I was just corrected on that. I used one to swap an SSL and HQ for the Nisei they were about to steal. Had all the money I needed for the rest of the game. Oh, that's awesome, right? You feed them an SSL. That's cool. And like, yeah, you can play this in trap decks, but I'm pretty sure you can over advance this as a 4-2 and it becomes a relatively okay Glacier card. And I think that's a really big deal because 3-2s do see play in Glacier decks. It's generally like Philotic Entanglement that like kills people maybe 5% of the time. But this actually has good utility and you might want to run 3 of them. The trap part of this deck is cool too, but like basically you're saying run the server twice. You're also putting the card that you had in the server into HQ, which you know, kind of says run HQ, but if you're playing a Glacier Mati deck as opposed to a trap deck, that's probably harder to capitalize on. I don't know, I still think it's very relevant. I still think Sting is really scary and is a cool 3-1 for like PE type decks. We played a PE deck, Personal Evolution deck on this channel a couple like weeks ago, and it actually worked relatively well. I think this is a really cool card. It's also a card that you start looking at the board state in a different way. I like that, like, oh, how many of this agenda is scored changes your math. So like the game state changes more times per game, per run, per. I think that's cool. If only Sting was a limit 6. Oh my god, it'd be broken. Related to border control and the aforementioned cold side server, always have a backup plan. The new criminal run event obviously is sweet. Oh yeah, that's actually a really big deal for that. Yeah, that actually gets through cold side because both runs paid no additional costs. That's kind of cool. Thanks for pointing that out. Other stuff here for Jinteki. Stagrotic Resonator is really strange. It's an asset that does damage, but at least it won't be a surprise. It'll generally be rezzed. And this can be comparable to Ronin in some ways, but unadvanced traps can be scary. You have to trash a card, which generally happens during net damage. So like this can basically double all your neural EMPs. So this might be a tool that fits into that sort of Sting deck. It's hard to get that much value from this though, right? Because like if you do a knurl, you at least have always a second knurl, so there's some reliability in there, but like it's hard to fire this twice in a turn. There's some ways to do it. If the runner steals X is equal to corpse scored stings. If corpse scores X is equal to runner stolen things. Yes. Oh, you don't understand. Sorry, Jester. Yeah, it's the other players. So when you steal it, you have to look at how many the corpse has scored, and if the corpse scored, they have to look how many the runners stealed. So anytime that this hits somebody's play area, it gets really interesting, which I think is super cool. NBN got some really strong stuff. What's new here? Daily Quest. We talked about this a bit before. This is like a commercial bankers group, but a lot more nuanced, and I think that's kind of cool. It's in faction, so if you want to play that sort of like Spark asset spam deck or controlling the message asset spam deck, maybe you have a bit more influence to work with, let alone commercial bankers group is now restricted. But this card does a lot of things. Stealed. This card does a lot of things that commercial bankers group does, but also in a lot of ways feels a bit more it's less punishing, right? The first thing with this card is that it is a liability. It's an asset, but if the runner makes a successful run on this, not only do you not gain 3, the corp does not gain 3, but you gain 2. So if you can trash the ice that protects this, maybe there's 1 ice in the early game, you can start running this like a magnum opus. Is that amazing? Probably not in a remote server. Maybe if you're trying to get your crowdfundings back in, but that's not terrible. And then the corp has to deal with it and it has to trash it, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's like an inverse of political assets, which is cool because you generally want to ice this. And that's kind of the cool thing. As long as you can run this once a turn, there's technically like a 5 credit swing. Not actually. It also makes the trash cost easier because you gain 2 credits right when the run happens. But I think the really biggest thing about this is that you can res it only during your action phase. So the corp has to res this on their turn, so you know. And that's kind of the biggest threat when it comes to like controlling the message. And if you were here for the beginning of the stream, you know that. It's like, oh, this could be an agenda. This could be commercial bankers group. This could be the Mumbed virtual tour. And then you have to start checking everything. And then sometimes you get blown out by like 2 Mumbed virtual tours in their first couple turns or something like that. And for this, you have to start making like calculated choices. It's also not a bad card in theory outside of Glacier decks, kind of like a Sundew, something to jam in a remote that gives you value for some turns before you replace it. I think it's pretty flexible. Time will tell whether this is good enough in an asset spam deck to ice in. Maybe it doesn't even fit in asset spam decks. I don't know. But like NBN doesn't have good ways to make burst money, and this is kind of a good way. Used for Chrysium if you aren't getting APOC'd or duped. Could you Chrysium get this? Yeah, you could. That's pretty fun. That's pretty cool. Can't wait for Hippo that ice, then run 3 times and install crowdfunding. That's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be so good. There's also some fun cheese with this deck. What is it? There's like that one where the dancers in virtual reality that can install like assets and agendas on top of one big ass server. So like you can protect this and still have a Glacier server. I don't like putting all my eggs in one basket, but at least it's a cool basket, right? Loot box is new. Flavorful. I like so we don't have an NBN ID, we don't have a Wayland ID, we don't have an Anarch ID, so those are going to be coming in the second half. Uprising, I believe, is the name. I think that's what the plan is. And it looks like we're going to get an NBN that deals with video games or whatever video games look like in the future. Daily quests, calibration testing, team sponsorship is kind of dope. Oh, because it can keep recurring itself? Because they have to run it? That's kind of cool. Yeah, that's a package, right? Like this comes up, and if they don't deal with it, like if they get money, they can't trash your other stuff. That's interesting. If I'm following that right, David. Now, loot box is interesting. And they're on the list of runner pace 2, and then the second ability doesn't fire. But if you want to get through this, and 3 for a trap is actually pretty hard because Amaku has to do some work for it. I like this card, and when I opened this page, I think there was like text somewhere, and I can't find it anymore. I thought it was like the dropout text, like you see on XKCD comics, but I can't figure out how to get it. Reveal the top 3 cards of the stack, which is okay for reveal decks, but it does shuffle 2 of those cards back, so you don't know what they're going to draw. And you add a card to the runner's hand, but you get credits equal to the play cost, which sounds kind of bad, but the comments associated with this card were all about the credit swing. So for instance, the runner pays 2, then you put a liberated account in your hand, which you gain 6. So that's already an 8 credit swing. And now if you put an expensive card in their hand, which is maybe something they want, if they install that card, it's even a bigger swing. So sometimes giving them a nice expensive thing they want in their deck is actually bad, which I think is really cool. I think also having a shuffle effect is pretty relevant, at least to some extent against criminal, because a lot of the criminal cards coming up are all about filtering your card draw, where you put things that you don't want on the bottom of your deck. And this is a double-edged sword, but I think the edge for the corp is at least a bit sharper, where if someone spends all their time with like Paragon and Blue Diesel and whatever her name is, the new Andromeda card, and then you just shuffle their deck. It goofs them real bad. It actually fucks them up, and then they start drawing poorly, which I think is cool. Sometimes you want to shuffle your deck, though. I think Focus Group is nuts. I think this card is crazy. I think this is such a strong win condition for NBN. It's crazy. And increased operates. That's probably playable. Bad publicity hate. On the Wayland side of things, Afshar is really strong. It's cool that we're seeing more positional ice. I like positional ice. Unfortunately, all the HQ ice is what we're getting for Wayland. Maybe you need to do that just so that they don't have all the tools they need. But this is hilarious when you have to break this for 5 credits with a Black Orchestra. To some extent, I'm worried that low strength ice won't see a lot of play because on the runner side of things, we have Chisel, which punishes that pretty bad. But on its own, like, that's an interesting thing. Also, David, if I'm not mistaken, this says printed subroutines, which is really important, right? Because you can't sub boost this. I looked at some other cards and printed wasn't on them, so I'm assuming sub boost Afshar is breakable, right? Have quests making money for you alongside calibration testing in your scoring server. When you get 3-2, overwrite quests with Kali and recur the quest into the scoring remote with team sponsorship. Oh, cool. Yeah, as long as they can't get in, you can chain that pretty hard. Yeah, and it gives you exactly 3 credits every turn. That's pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, I'm pretty sure if you sub boost this, they can break it. That's fine. Sandstone is okay. I'm not sold. Reversed Infection is really fun with this. Trebuchet is pretty mean. I think we've only seen one card so far that does a trace but also gets bad publicity, which seems like a pretty bad non-bow, but like, that's a strong piece of ice. This is a scary ice. You got to deal with this. This is a really good rush ice. Again, sometimes bad publicity is good for you if you're playing the outfit, but like, woo! SCP reference here, that's pretty good. And I think the second card that I'm most fascinated to play with immediately would be Reduced Service and Cold Site Servers. So 2 defensive upgrades, which we don't see that often. This card is wild. Yeah, printed is very relevant. Sub boost doesn't stop it. Perfect. All right, so that's good. Reduced Service is such a wild card. 4 credits is all you need. Really bad trash cost, but if you get this on the table, it's fine. And then if the runner wants to run this server, and you can put this on a central server, it'll cost them 8 up front, which is crazy. Now, the runner can make successful runs on central servers. To some ways, this reminds me of one of the Worlds cards that was printed, but that one you could put on HQ, and it was only HQ. Also, in some ways, it reminds me of Embolus, but this one's more rushy. It gives you more value up front, and I think 4 credits is not too much to cost to play for this. But like, even in a deck that doesn't protect central servers, I don't think this is terrible. Because if the runner has to like get a breaker down, get economy, and then rush your remote server while also like running centrals, it's kind of what Rush Wayland needs to some extent. Like, it really does slow down the game. So it's either run the remote right now and pay 8, which would probably be an issue for the runner, or also you can just play this in Glacier. Like, it's cool. It's a flexible card. I think it works well in Glacier. I think it works well in Rush. I think that's awesome. Blue Sun loves Reduced Service. Blue Sun with Reduced Service is also pretty sweet because Blue Sun's good at protecting all the central servers. Blue Sun then bounces this for 0. I think that's pretty sweet once it's done. Because even when it's done, it doesn't trash itself. You still have to trash it. That's awesome. Divert Power. Oh yeah, you can de-res this to res another card. There's some really cool Blue Sun support. Horse says Sandstone and Blue Sun. Yo, I've had this conversation before, and like, Sandstone seems like another cool Blue Sun target. I'm not convinced. I think 3 credits for a 5 strength ice. Like, if you're spending time just to like install this and reinstall this, I don't think that's good enough. I think in Blue Sun, you'd rather run a nasty face check than a 5 strength barrier that can get worse. So I don't know. A 4-3 Monka S, and that's actually a really big deal, Syncopate. Like, we talked about that sort of idea. If you can protect a Jeeves, and then you have a Jeeves on the table, and you can do like advance, Cold Site Server, and then you install that 4-3, the neutral 4-3. Now it costs them their whole turn, let alone 3 extra credits to run the remote server, which can be totally untenable. And then if they don't trash the Jeeves, next turn you can just advance, and you can be like super safe advancing 4-3s. And then also maybe you want to play that with Kawa. A Kawa project works really well with this HB upgrade. I like the art on this is really good too. Really strong. Really strong. But yeah, Blue Sun seems cool. CSR campaign, can someone confirm? I don't know, David, can you confirm what CSR stands for? I think Customer Service Representative. I just don't know if that's universal or not. That's what we were in Blockbuster when I was a teenager. It's really exciting stuff. I wanted to play today, but apparently they're not on JNet. But some really cool stuff for every faction. I don't think any faction got absolutely got nothing. I think HB is really strong. It's just like some really good fundamentals cards, and HB needed a bit more of that. It's corporate social responsibility. Ooh, cool. Good to know. HB has some really cool stuff. This ID is good. It's probably good. Seems efficient, but like you can play this in anything you want. I'm surprised fully operational didn't have a May on it. Gain 2 credits or draw 2 cards. You may repeat this process for each remote server. It forces you to do it, which is actually pretty interesting. I think that's pretty wild. Oh, single pay. Yeah, corporate social responsibility. Excellent. Thank you. But man, some really cool stuff here. Jinteki got some fun stuff for damage. It's mostly all damage support here. I guess the Agauda could be Glacier to some extent. This is a really good defensive upgrade. NBN got some really fun stuff. I think Focus Group again is crazy, just absolutely crazy. I don't think this card is easy to play with 5/3s, and most of the NBN decks you see modernly are running a lot of 5/3s. So this, I think, to some extent also opens up that play space where we might see smaller agendas with better on score abilities. Again, also we do have a cool smaller agenda. Not going to address the 4/3. I think we addressed this last time because it wasn't revealed today. Again, I think it's really strong with Chiefs. Not being able to fast advance it is definitely pretty good. But I think the biggest deal with this card is if the meta swings to have enough good install advance plays. You need some good install advance plays, right? Because right now, a lot of the meta, especially for more Glacier decks, and this is pretty good, probably like most 3-pointers in Glacier type decks, is that install advance is a really strong play because you can't tell if it's an agenda, you can't tell if it's an NGO front. Right now, install advance might be more pressure, draws more pressure from some runners. Because if you're playing against Jinteki, that means a Nisei Mark II. If you're playing against Wayland, it's generally an Atlas. These are all things that you can't let go through. And they're harder. Like, it's less likely to be an NGO front. It's more likely to be an agenda. And if it's a trap, it generally does less damage. So I generally want to run those. And that's kind of the benefit of vulnerability audit, because you can't fast advance it. It just allows you to do install advance. So that's inherently really good with Jeeves. It's inherently really good with Mirror Morph, where install advance works really well with your game plan. But in other factions, I don't know if that's strong enough. I think maybe the best thing that you can do is like the last matchup we saw, where you can do install advance, and then you can do advance, clones are not people, and then get a 4-point agenda in 2 turns. Like, that's also crazy. I think those are the 2 big things that I see about this agenda. But like in any deck, like if it has that sort of like neutral flexibility that you would see in Global Food, I'm not totally sold on it. Just because saving 1 counter on advancing this is probably not worth the influence. But that's the way I see it. If we get a really cool install advance play that like everybody wants to run, like the NGO front of install advance, then maybe. But I think this is a bit more focused for certain decks and certain deck archetypes. But for those, it's probably really good. There's an AH deck on NRDB already taking heavy advantage of Focus Group. It looks really scary and not necessarily in a fun way. I don't know the names of the cards that well. Which one's Focus Group? Oh, this? Yeah. Focus Group's crazy. Focus Group's super, super crazy. Just like super, 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 super crazy. Streaming at a time I could have watched in the UK. I've only just realized. How's it going? My name's not Billy. Sorry about that. If you want to, maybe hit the notification button. Hopefully you're on that list. So I think on YouTube, subscribe so you can know when we stream. We generally don't often stream at different times, but it's a thing. I think part of the value of vulnerability audit is simply the threat of its existence. A neutral 4/3 means that only single advanced card could actually be a 3-pointer. That's 100% true. Is that like its existence matters, but in some deck archetypes, like I feel it's like the existence of Vanity Project technically exists. That card's a lot harder to play. Obviously, I think 6 is just a lot of advancement counters on a card. But you're technically right. Like this does blow up in the space where people will be like, "Oh, that could be a 4/3. I could lose this turn." But time will tell whether that's worth playing around of based on how many times that card shows up in certain decks. And right now, I think it definitely shows up in Mirror Morph. It definitely shows up in some Jinteki Glacier decks. But I don't think it definitely shows up everywhere where I'm playing around it in like Wayland or NBN. But I might be wrong. Cool thing about NBN, again, they don't have a really good install advance thread. Ooh, actually, vulnerability with remastered edition is pretty strong in NBN. That's kind of cool. Unadvanced cards get scary. That's interesting. But on its own, like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to be wrong about that. The thing is, like with NBN, there's a lot of like 6 agenda NBN decks that are running 5/3s, and in general running SSL and then Degree Mill. And I'd argue that Degree Mill doesn't get that much value in that deck. Sometimes it even helps the runner. Like people are running like crowdfunding, data sucker, whatever, shuffle that shit back. Daily cast when it's almost done, liberated. It's good for the early rush, but those decks don't rush 5/3s out that well. Like if they score an early medium Degree Mill, like I don't feel that bad. So vulnerability audit might just like take the place of one of those agendas. Maybe probably Degree Mill because SSL is also really good. You make a good case for install advance your NGO instead of install advance advancing it. Yeah, how's it going, Jeffrey? You totally do. And there's so many times I run against people that install advance and NGO, but I don't feel that bad because they lost out on 2 extra credits. No, they probably won that one. That's fine. Couldn't Jemison? Vulnerability audit? No, not really, because you can't score the turn it's installed, so you can't do like Jemison fast advance. So I don't think I'd play this in Jemison. Generally not forfeiting 3-pointers, but like I don't know. If you have to get this on the table for Jemison, that's risky. I don't know. Maybe I just want an SSL and save an influence and get 9 more credits. That deck generally is a bit poor. Yeah, Rob, great non-NA threat with remastered. Yeah, totally. Get ready to see some personality portals. Yeah, personality portals is a thing, right? Forced to draw, get some credits, daily quest. By the way, tiered subscription probably will see play. Definitely in Spark, but like first time each turn a run begins, that's gonna happen a fair bit. Fuck you, don't run. Anyways, definitely really cool. We've seen the whole set, 65 cards. I really wanted to play some As today. I don't know if we have time. It's gonna be really tricky just because the cards aren't on JNet, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like really hard to get them working the way that you want to. I know they're not implemented, but like they're just not here. So like firing some manual, you have to like do proxies. Yeah. I miss No Code of Ethics. Actually, most fun I've ever had playing Netrunner. What's No Code of Ethics, Otrikun? Is that a translation? Because that's not a card. Bioethics? Not sure. Jankdavis, what's up? Cool to see a Wednesday stream. The 4-3 to me seems to be flip side of GFI. 1 fewer advancements for the corp, 1 more point for the runner. I totally hear you. How's it going, Jankdavis? I just think that the 4-3 advantage, because it can't be fast demand, isn't that good unless the deck can always get an extra click to score an unadvanced 3-pointer, or install advance becomes really good for the deck, which again, Asa, maybe it is. The new HB, Mirror Morph, maybe it is. With Jeeves, 100% it is. So there's certain decks, the new NBN agenda. I just don't think it's like GFI, which is like great in every deck because it lowers the amount of agendas the runner has to steal by 1, which is crazy. The Jemison deck, which ran Armed Intimidation. Oh, it's the name of a deck list. Okay. Yeah, I never actually really successfully did 24/7 in Jemison. I don't think I liked that card though. It just felt like really, I don't know. I saw too many people get railgunned and not happy about it. What is it? It's like 9 o'clock. I think we can do maybe one more game. I gotta cut this early because I gotta get on a train real early tomorrow morning. That's why we're not streaming tomorrow. So we can play deck list. Unfortunately, I think we'll be back next week, almost definitely, to play the new stuff. But check this stuff out on Nisei. There's a conversation obviously on our Netrunner. There might be conversations in other places, probably on the Slack, probably maybe at BGG. I don't know. Are those forums a thing still? But really cool stuff. Shout outs to the Nisei team. Just play it fair. Only 24/7 Meteor Minings. Very good. Meteor Minings is a card. Yes. Cool. I don't know. Maybe we'll just grind a deck list here. Feels like you earn it. So there actually, you see some As decks, and like if you ask me, I wasn't that excited to play As before. Oh, we're definitely gonna play this one. This one seems really fun. I wasn't that excited for As. But then I saw this deck list, and I think I would definitely diverge a bit from it. But this one made me like way more excited. I think the thing that like made me the most pumped to play As is the understanding that Masterwork draws on install. Oh my god, that's awesome. You play this for 1 credit in As, and you draw a card. Fuck yeah, let's go. Let's go, Tempo Console. I'm in on that. That actually, like, when I realized that, which please tell me I'm right, David, if you're still in chat. I was like super sold with this. This deck list is really cool. It installs Cyber Feeder for 1 credit, and then you can install viruses because you have Amakua, but also it's just 1 credit a turn. It's like pseudo bad publicity. I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but there are at least 2 cards in the new cycle. David says you're welcome. Thank you. There are at least 2 cards in the upcoming cycle as of Monday that remove bad publicity, so I don't know how good bad publicity is. But basically with R&D interface, you can run once a turn, and You could run once a turn and see 2 to 3 cards, so you have to run R&D only a couple times a turn. This also installs Cyberdelia at value, which I just don't like this card. We don't use the MU really well. 6 influence is a hell of a lot. If you want to play a card that gives you that much value per turn, I would probably just go ahead and play Mining Accident. Now, I'm aware that Minig Accident might not fire, but like, you're a criminal, you can be aggressive, you can kind of ensure it. But I'd rather just play that. But I would definitely tune this a bit. I think the biggest problem with this deck, I also don't know if Bank Job is worth it, but there's a big chance Bank Job does get easier to play. Like, okay, Bank Job, pretty good in certain decks. We're seeing a lot of decks, like the last matchup we played, like Matima Kundo, where they don't build remote servers. But if you ask me, there's a chance that it'll get better just because Calvin Bailey might be played everywhere because it's really good. Maybe even this one, I don't know. But that seems like a big deal. I don't even think I'd play Bank Job in as whatever. I'll lose the value. And I think there's another deck list if you want to start playing with as decks. Maybe you want to print your cards on your own. You're playing at home. That's cool. You can do that. You know all the cards. This is from Arcali. Some pretty good as art. And this one actually plays more of the cards from the cycle. If you want to have a bit more of like, oh, what's cool, what's new in the cycle. This is like more like it. So you're seeing other new cards like Isolation. You're playing Always Have a Backup Plan, which is probably a bunch better than it looks. But I think the biggest deal is that the Sands deck doesn't have Backlund Botchkin, which without playing any of the cards, I'm convinced is the strongest card in the set. This thing's amazing, but this gives you a tag, so I'd want to play this with other things like Turning Wheel instead of maybe one of the RDIs. I would also want to play this with not Security Nexus, with Citadel Sanctuary because we already have a link, and then I'll probably play Rogue Trading. I think Sand mentions that in here if I'm not mistaken. Do they say Rogue Trading? Or maybe it's the other one. Oh, yeah, I think this deck list suggests doing that. I like this a lot better. Citadel, Rogue Trading. I would play 3 Botchkin. I think Botchkin's crazy. Botchkin with 3 suckers and 3 labor rights. Get him. But I think it's absolutely nuts. This card is incredible. Especially it works with Turning Wheel really well. Make those runs. Arcali's creative lead, by the way. She's awesome as entirely the creative team. Yeah, I was 100% sure that Arcali is part of Nisa. I just don't know exactly everyone's low rolls. But Arcali is creative lead. So that's super cool. Anyways, if you want to try more of the new cards like Direct Access in your deck, I would also argue Direct Access is also kind of bad with Class Act because it shuffles your deck. Not that sold on it, but it's cool at least. Hey Wayne, how's it going? Welcome to the Wednesday stream. But anyways, this deck actually made me really excited to try Azza, which I didn't think I would, considering its card, his card text is just like value, economic value. So I don't know, I would definitely tune this a bit, but like this looks really cool. It kind of feels like Geist in some way, like just about every turn you're drawing a card while doing some cool stuff for your board. And I do still love playing crowdfunding a fair bit. But yeah, I put Turning Wheels in here, I put Botchkins, maybe Citadel, maybe some Rogue Tradings. I don't think I like the Cyberdelias, and I'd probably cut R&D interface. Also, I don't think I like Flip Switch. I don't think I do, but we'll find out. It draws cards. I guess you can Isolation Bank Job if you can't actually use Bank Job. 2 clicks for 5 credits. Yeah, but that's 2 cards and then like Influence as well. So like to me, Isolation is like one of those cards that people say like, oh, it's a card in your deck. You can always Ace Up's Pawn Shop it. And this one and the Shaper one are gonna go straight into that category. Be like, oh, it's a subpar card in your deck, but we can always Isolation it, which is technically true. But you can always Isolation to daily casts, but for me, I'm not excited to put Isolation in that deck just for that reason, for that like incidental value in some cases, because that's so many card slots and also Influence. I don't think Isolation's bad, I just don't like to put it in a deck that doesn't just like fucking love it, you know? Corpus don't even write Euless when Backlund's around. Yo, Backlund, get him. Backlund's crazy. You should dog Flip Switch is serious business. Why, David? Convince me, please, before I make a video about it and say I don't like it. Now, obviously, Flip Switch is a lot better because it like cycles for free. It's card draw. It lets you remove the tag in that Security Nexus type way. But like, I guess the biggest thing is Masterwork is good and you can't run Forger. This is just like a different Forger. You can use Isolation to sync up your crowdfundings and have the money you need to recur them. Yeah, you're right. You could. You can, but again, that's like the incidental value. It's like pawn shopping the crowdfunding, which is fine. But like pawn shop is not a card, like it's on the table. I don't know. I just don't want to draw this card to play. I like the draw from the crowdfunding. It's basically good in every matchup. I don't think you're wrong. I just think it's good enough. Which is so good it's restricted, yeah. Flip Switch, how is it going, Coyote? I don't know. Why? Please, chat, let's talk through this. Flip Switch. This is how I see it. It's a card that lets you run away. Is that good? Don't think so. You want to get in. You want to get into remote servers. You get some cool value with this. With the other card, you always have a backup plan. That's for sure. You get turning tokens. Sure. You get Botchkin. That's value. Flip switch is great in those GPI net tab Emiku Zamba decks. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's fine. And also, you can play those decks probably in Az pretty well because like you can play Suppliers really good in Az. Reducing those traces is also good, especially with Link. Yeah, but how often does that fire? Like, how many traces do you have to get through? Like, that's the thing is like, sure, it's okay with that, and a flexible card has more value than an unflexible card, but like, if that's an issue, you can tech against that and play Link. It's huge value against Mati for an aggro crim, allowing you to actually run aggressively. Sure, but like to me, it's the same way as like, oh, I could just play Fairy in this slot. And Fairy means I can run it aggressively against Mati. I'm probably wrong. I hate it too. I've had worse if you're worried. Yeah, I've had worse also feels good. That's influence though. You can use it to steal QPMs through data ravens, sure. But like you can play other flexible cards. You can play On the Lamb. You can play No One Home. You can play Forger, which you can't in a Masterwork deck. Never get caught by just res lethalize, get the corp to waste 12 credits on Chiashi and then don't encounter it. You're thinking of Botchkin. You're thinking of Botchkin. What you want to say is get a Botchkin with a lot of counters on it, because that's good. Joe. I don't think you all are wrong. I just feel like there might be a better card. I like this distribution better though. I think Lucky's Charm is good. Okay. You can be aggressive with this. You can be aggressive with Fairy. I miss when criminals used to be aggressive. I think that's actually the best part of this. 3 decent abilities. I would argue it's 2 decent abilities. I think the last ability never really fires. Like, it's basically saying the corpse spends, what? 5 more credits on hiding these? Maybe that is good. Deuce is Wild? Deuce is Wild, I don't love Deuce is Wild. I'll be honest. Flip switch got me excited until I saw Botchkin. Botchkin's crazy. Botchkin's so crazy. Oh, man. Maybe I'm going to be wrong about that. Maybe I'm going to be wrong. I don't know. Whatever. You can get kitties behind ravens? You can. I want to put Embezzle in this deck too. Embezzle is really fun. Anywho, class act is good. That's I think what we learned. Final ability doesn't predict against hard hitting news. Oh yeah, fuck, it doesn't even, right? Because it's only on the corpse turn. Whatever. So what? Like you already have 1 link, so like you make Ash 3 to 2 credits worse. What else has Trace on it? Surveyor second sub? Yeah. Fine. You still have 2 tags. I think you'll see. Yeah, I probably will. Like, I think Az is the first thing I'm going to be building. So I'm going to see really quickly. 100% really quickly I will see this. 100%. Like, it's going to be the fastest thing to see. We'll be like, whoa, I'm super aggressive now. Which, like, for me, is my jam. Because that's how I like playing the Netrunner. So I'm probably wrong. Whatever. I just don't see it now. And I think that's a really cool thing about this game. Maybe that shakes your confidence, considering I do stuff where we analyze cards to some extent, but like it's weird how a card like this divides people pretty hard. Just play Fairy. I'm with you, Rob. Just play Fairy. I think you get enough ability with it as a Masterclass to be good. That's what this looks like. When are the cards on JNet? David, can you actually answer that? When are they on JNet? I assume they might be up on the 18th, but I don't know. This is a really interesting deck. Dead by Daylight, Aldershot, Store Champs. First place to Mr. A.G. Worth. Also, shoutouts. I don't know if this is like really on meta or not, but I won a Store Champ a couple weeks ago playing a very similar deck, similar archetype, not obviously similar cards. Well, similar cards, just not like card for card. But I played this. I think this has a really bad matchup against Mati with Anansi's, but we got around with that. I think that matchup gets a lot better once Bagalter comes out. Nanotech is not that bad, actually. Surveyor, QPM, Glacier, all excellent cards that Flip works impressively against. I'll just play On the Lamb. Dodge the damage. Remove the tags. Anyways, this deck is really silly. Well, not really silly, really interesting. Where did I put it? Did I close? Oh, it's right here. Wow. Because it's actually trying to kill. You have Salem's Hospitality, you have the attitude adjustment, which helps a bit. And we're trying to kill people with broad daylight. Your Fairy's gonna make you pretty sad when you slam to DNA tracker. Fine. We'll try it. We'll try it. This is actually a kill deck. You can rush to some extent. You have Slot Machine, which shows the hand for Salaams. Ibrahim Salem is crazy in this deck. It only runs 2 hostile takeovers, so we're generally going to be forfeiting a 2-point agenda. We don't even have like standoffs. But you're trying to kill the runner by basically getting into so few cards in hand that you can do like neural Salams to win. I think that's going to be pretty difficult, but we're going to try it. Broad Daylight does soften them up, so you can do Broad Daylight, Salams into like neural. It's going to be hard for that to happen. We have Border Control. We have 3 Bulwark, which is actually a really strong card in the outfit where the bad publicity doesn't matter that much. Why isn't this in Titan? It's a good question. I think because we can get some good value with the bad publicity. We have 3 Bulwark. We have 2 Too Big to Fail. No follow-up questions. It could. Oh, David, this is huge. Never redeem implementation. Sorry, not my team. I can guarantee the web dev is hard at work though. Same read JNet. Okay, super cool. Thank you. That's a good question. I don't know. I think this is faster and people are more scared of it. In Titan, what would we do? I think the Bulwarks would be too expensive. These generally cost us 7 to 5 credits depending on AI installation. Toll Booth is also really spicy in this deck, I suppose. But it's a mixture of Glacier and a kill deck. I don't know. I'm excited to try it. Could be in Titan. With Titan, we get another Broad Daylight counter. This also gives you bad publicity, excuse me, another outfit reason. The Hostiles or the Alices get really good. 11 Agendas also has a fair bit. And with the Titan token, we could find the Neural EMP. There's a chance, because we don't use money that well in this deck. It's not like we're hard-hitting using or C-sourcing. There's a chance that it might be better in Titan. Oh, yeah, we'd have 2 more influence too. Yeah, it's worth looking into. I think we'd have to play this first to figure out exactly what we would want to add if we could, because obviously I have no idea. But we'll try it. I also haven't played enough outfit. Excuse me. Why did that open? Alphabeti. Spaghetti. What's going on? Is this good? Yeah, we'll figure it out. Also, we played a deck last week. It was like a Freedom Kamalu Consume deck. I've tuned it since. It's a ton of fun, let me tell you. I'm hopefully pull up that deck sometime in the near future. It's really fun. Dead by Daylight, that's a good name. The outfit? What's a go? So for ice, 17 ice, pretty glaciery, not that rushy. We don't have any fast track or anything, but we have 3 slot machines for probably central servers. The Hortum's not bad at all, and end the runs we got some pretty good barriers, and of course the Surveyor as a restricted card. So let's go. I see Nick out there grinding with some Adam. Tuning up Adam. Shout out also to Nick. Am I doxing him by saying his name? The cutest thing. He reached out to Matt Zellinger to get some art done for a proposal he had. You can find it all on here. Always be running together. Such good art. Matt Zellinger. Coolest dude. Anyways, made this card a special agenda. Check this out if you wanted. The art is great. Oh, hey Nick, what's up? It's okay if I show this? I assume because it's on Reddit, it's okay I showed it, but like huge shout outs. Congrats to y'all. Really cute idea. I love this. All feature wins and losses are shared equally by both players. Wow. So cute. So that's really cool. It's on Reddit. It's public. Nice. Okay, cool. Also shout out for the Montreal area. We have an upcoming store championship April 13th. No promises right now. I'm looking to stream the thing. It is at a place that we didn't stream before. Last time we streamed a tournament, the internet was real dodgy, and we created like fucking 20 different videos on YouTube, which was a nightmare. Probably a lot of push notifications. Probably did poorly for people who wanted to subscribe to the channel. Excuse me. So we're going to look into that. No promises just yet, but otherwise 13th of April, come down to Montreal. Montreal, where it's meant to be winter, but our spring, but it's still winter, is still really good. No, it'd be fun though. It's at the Randolph, one of the Randolph pubs in Rosemont, which is cute. Chicken says that's adorable. It is really good. I also didn't know, like I checked out Matt Zellinger's website, and Matt Zellinger redid his website relatively recently, and on it is a fair bit of art showing all the art for different games, but there's a section that's just commissions, and there's some really good Netrunner art that was commissioned by different people in the community. We've talked before about Spags' art, but it's Wayne, what's up? But it's great. There's like a lot more, and I was like looking through it, and I don't recognize everybody, but some people, ooh, Adam. Can we kill Adam? Oh, Adam's probably going to be showing us everything they draw. It might be really easy to kill with Salam. We'll find out. All right, playing the Find the Truth. Our memory is going to be really important. Hostile in hand. We really want that. No agendas in hand, so we're not that punished by the HQ multi-axis. We're going to keep this for sure. What's he do? Hello. I wrote Hawoo. That's probably close enough. Scoring this gives the bad publicity, takes us up to many agenda points. Hopefully we don't draw another. That's good too. If Adam hits it, they have to trash it, which is 5 credits. That's a fair bit of credits. I guess 4 with the bad publicity, but whatever. We'll take it. Now they do have Find the Truth, of course, so they can see the top of the deck. We might not be the best at protecting it early, but we have 13 credits. They don't have to run. Daily cast coming down. Looks like they're not going to run. Oh, they career faired it as well. Get those cards out of hand. Amakua coming down. We do have IP blocks. Just clicking up. Doesn't want to interact with us. I think Wayne might know the deck. They have a sure gamble in hand. We'll try and remember that. We do have the agenda. Now, there's a lot of ways to get through our shitty ice. Trace 2, not amazing. I think we want to ice R&D, but this in HQ is like such a liability. And as soon as they draw a breaker and don't install it, we can go and Salams it, which is pretty strong. I don't know. I think we might. If they have 2 gambles, they don't die. Rob just says let's. I don't know what that means. I think we might just want to do Survivor, install Advance. If they face check it, it's still really annoying for them because the tags are good. And we know 1 of the 3 cards in hand, so the chance of them have... Oh, it's only 2 strength though. They can do like run this and then get through it. Yeah, fuck yeah, I think we jam. If we res this and do this, we'll get up to the too big to fail, and we know 2 cards in their hand. So, I don't know. I feel like they're gonna run Central here. This might look like an Atlas. This is a... So they played the gamble, they're up at 10. If this card is, like this could look like the big barrier, what's it called? Data sucker coming down. So they can still run server 2. No more action. Hopefully they hit the too big to fail. Maybe not. Find the Truth. Hit the too big to fail. They have to trash it. That's 4 credits. 5 with the bad publicity. Don't you have to trash that? Oh, it's not. Hey. You have creativity. Hey. You have to trash the TBTF. No? Right? Or is it just assets? I think it's everything. Okay, so we'll trash it. It's usually automated. So it looks like we got it. Okay, cool. So we know in hand they have emergent creativity, which is something we might want to consider Salamings. When we score this, take 1 bad publicity. So we actually have a fair bit. If their hand size doesn't get big, this will be pretty good. So we're going to get another bad publicity. So we have 2 counters on this. We can always click for 2. So we know in hand, we know they have, like, we can kill them next turn. We can kill them. We know they have an emergent creativity. We know have a broad daylight. We have a neural and we have a cell M. So we can do 4 damage. Oh, this is going to be real rough. 3 hand size, not very common. Hopefully no agenda on top. They also need a brain cage or another expansion card. A hand size, maybe a brain chip, excuse me. Brain cage also works. Running R&D looks like it is an agenda. So if they play this in brain cage, taking off the top, getting the Oaktown, emergent creativity coming down. So that's the only card we know, but they're going to draw another card we know. So their hand size is +1. They have a sure gamble. I think we just win right here. So we do Salams for the gamble. Oh man, yeah, they're so dead. So they're down to 2 hand size. When does this fire? Got him. 3 hand size, not enough. If they drew 1 more card, could we have only killed them if there was 2 of the same card in hand? Oh, another emergent creativity. Oh, 3 hand size will get you. Low hand size is super scary. Yeah, especially with the broad daylight. We rushed that out. They could have got through this. Of course, they don't know it. And if they're playing around, I don't know if you actually play around that big barrier. Oh, what happened here? That big barrier will get them really good. Why is this deck not Argus? That was fast. Yeah, that was really fast. That happens. This deck could be Argus. This deck also could be Titan. We gained, what, 6 credits from that bonus, which honestly isn't terrible, but bad publicity is really bad for the traces. It's bad for trashing stuff. We have a bunch of trashables in the deck. I don't know. We don't have any tag punishment, but the meat damage is relevant, and they don't know we don't have tag punishment. Titan more influence. It gives the Alice more counters. It gives that 4-2, the Broad Daylight, more counters. And we have an extra. Yeah, exactly. We have an extra. Like, that's not bad. We do want bad publicity for Broad Daylight, but we do cancel it out. Can we switch to this? We'll do one more. Like, that was a really fast game, and I don't think that's really representative of what it does, considering we played against 3 hand size, which we can, like, totally stomp. But I think we want to try this in Titan. I just don't know what to do with 2 more influence, but we have a bunch of options. Maybe we play that upcoming Jinteki one. I think it's 3 influence. KHUC? Unknown name. Jasminder! Ooh! Glad we're not playing Argus. Hand size is good. Hand is good. IP block doesn't matter. Bulwark on R&D seems good. Surveyor. It's only first tag. This is not a bad hand. Sometimes you want to be rushy and get an agenda, but this is more of a Glacier deck. Like 17 ice, 11 agendas. Jugging, how do you spell your name? My name? Always forget it's Andre, like the seal or the giant, but with a J at the end. Sup? I don't think I said good luck. Have fun in the last one. Hey, not. My TV. Totally. How's it going? That new bad pub removal acid doesn't seem like it'll be enough to allow outfit to play slow. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's a slow card, which is like the opposite of outfit, but it's not a bad card on its own. How's it going, Suzu? On dredge. Yeah, exactly like that. How's it going? Uh-oh. Have fun? Oh, TV's nice. I did say Hoo. I goofed it up. Oh yeah, okay, I said Hoo, exactly. We want to get this rezzed. I don't know, we can get something on HQ. The thing is, like, Jesmitter a lot of times does have HQ pressure through what's it called? Through the one that says take a link, take a tag, gain something card. You know the card. So we're gonna put this something here, because if they dodge this tag, they get the tag from that card that I don't know the name of. Like the giant? Yeah, all the time. How's it going, Grim? Safe space for all friends here. Yeah, everyone's like really friendly here. That's going to give them some value. Refractor coming down. Looks like they're on stealth. We've seen stealth just minder before, but them going down to 0 credits against an outfit deck is like pretty suspicious. Specifically, we can get more credits here. And bad publicity seems bad early, but like it also seems good. So we're just going to go ahead and build that remote server. They get a free card job, but I think that's probably the only. We have 21 credits. They have 2. Y'all must have forgot about Dre. Dre, I get called a fair bit too. Spicy Pursuit. Thank you. That is the hottest pursuit. I don't think I said Tom's. I said hi before when he came in. How's it going? More name puns? All you need is a name that's not super common, and people go out of their way to find name puns, because people also just call me Andrej, which isn't the worst, but it isn't right. So they're just installing everything that they have that makes their deck work, and it looks like they're playing their deck more than they're playing the matchup, which is something we can capitalize on. Like, this is not going to matter. They might lose before this matters. It also means that they might be on misdirection, which in the matchup seems good. So I think we're just going to go ahead and jam, because they don't have the breaker for this. This is Trace 4, Trace 4. This also turns on Salems. I don't know if we want to sacrifice this, and this will get 2 more counters, which is really fun. Oh, Tom's Clickots. Oh, how's it going? Howdy. Jasmender 3 times. Now what do I do? Now what do I do? Pursuit. What is this pursuit one I have in my deck? Now, in terms of code gates, it's Whoredom, Toll Booth, and the other one, Slot Machine. And Refractor's not bad against those. Clicking for credits feels good. Clicking up to the Sure Gamble, up to 9 credits. Drawing the last click. Looks like this agenda is going to go through. Not a problem. Going to give us 3 more when we score it. Take that outfit value. Too bad publicity. If they're on stealth, the breakers are already really efficient, so this is also kind of scary. And if they hit a bulwark somehow, oh my god. I don't think people respect this. I don't know if they respect Archer. This is a hard res, a hard forfeit for an Archer. TBF to them, I think they're playing a matchup, just not the right one. There's the hot pursuit we're talking about. They've interacted with us, so we can res this. Now, the trace on this is really bad when it comes to the bad publicity. Swapping these might have been right, because this could have hit. Not that bad, though. So we can trace here. They're going to get a lot of money. Respecting HHC and the Destroyer subs. So it looks like we're going to fire this. They have no link. So here they spend a credit. They're going to get so much money. I don't even feel like we want to spend money on this. Like, it's not worth taxing them out enough. They have to spend 1 credit. They get an access here. It might hit the slimes. Might trash it. What do we cut for the 2 more influence? I don't know yet. Spending 3. 9 in a tag. Find the Abraham Salem. They could trash that for 5. Oh, they're trashing it. Okay, this is this per turn or per run? Oh, we're getting a bit goofed on here. We're getting a bit goofed on here. We're getting way goofed up on here. Double hopper suit. I was shit talking their money situation. Back at 18. Okay. Well, we don't have to respect that card anymore. God, their economy is so bad. Or Wayland. Do we want to hit them for 2 damage? It actually might accelerate them because it could put breakers into the bin for clone chip. Or like if we put an SMC into the bin, that's bad too. Jess and Con are tragic IDs that attach to cool people to trash abilities. Yeah, Con is a mistake. Jess, I think, is fine, especially with like a hostage. Beth coming down, 5 clicks a turn. I'm not scared. You're scared. We could score this Jam the Atlas. So it would put us technically on game point if we get it out, and I think we might want to. This looks like a Rashida. I don't think we need more money. Again, this does end the run. This does end the run. They have a lot of money. We're on 3 neural. Yeah, we totally are. I think we're on 3 neural, 3 Salems, 1 Ibrahim. 2 Ibrahim, 3 neurals, 3 Salems. Any more damage would be great. Oh, there's Liza. That's what we're expecting this matchup. So draw 2. Pretty good. Again, if they can fast advance stop us, that card draw is actually going to hurt a lot. Net, ready eyes. Draw. Threw out a stim hack, threw out a cold read. We have no idea what their hand is. We could slow advance this. Like, we could slow advance this, but I think we'd rather just be on game points so that they run absolutely everything we jam into the remote. That seems pretty good too. We also could have considered advancing this once, putting the the Hortum here, but with the stealth credit and the bad publicity, like, they're getting through that for free. The one that we could see their hand? Standard procedure? Authenticator's not very good. Authenticator's just like what? Pay 2 to get through or something? Standard procedure is like a lot of influence. Like, I don't know if we need more of that. Maybe we do. It's money though. Jogging really wants it. Yeah, IP block seems not great in this deck considering we want to rush to 2 bad publicity. This is also a cool combo. Not a lot of 3 strength code gates, but it does save some sort of tokens. Maybe if they're playing Switchblade, that's also good because there's a lot of 1 strength sentries, or at least I think there is without any research. And they have 5 click turns. We're going to be over 15 for a lot of it. If we swap to Titan, yeah, 2 influence. We could do it. Are you playing Mouseless? No, we're not. Hey, Mouseless actually is pretty good in this rain. Vita, how's it going? Welcome. How you doing? Welcome. Hopefully you're having a good Wednesday/Thursday. Andre, like the giant. What a cool dude that guy was. So, Mouseless would be good. It does damage. It's like one of the few Wayland cards that does damage. Often that fires. K-Huck taking their time, doing a think here. Again, they can't get through this, but maybe they have that sweet, sweet Maker's Eye in hand. I'm not going to say the name right of the card, but Kshyuk, is that it? The new R&D multi-access card seems so fucking cool. Pyro, how's it going? Hang on, it's not Thursday. What's going on here? I can't stream tomorrow. Got to do it today. Thanks for dropping by. Daylight savings time. Grim, how's it going? Checkpoint? Checkpoint's pretty bad. Like, Trebuchet is basically the new card that we put in this deck that's like Checkpoint. But Checkpoint's only like Trace 5, and we'll probably have 3 bad publicity by the time we res Checkpoint, so it's like really not great. That was the point. I've never seen anyone play Checkpoint to any sort of success because, like, you can always jack out and it does nothing on the face check. And if you have bad pub, like, the best thing you can do is beat a Trace. So it's like pay 2 credits to get through, no breaker necessary. Was the squiggle on your chalkboard? Oh, fuck. Nothing. Please, nobody talk about that. It's important that nobody addresses what that squiggle on the chalkboard. I beg you, please don't. It's really important. I'm setting up a world building thing. That's it. I think it's Trace 7, but then it's really 5. Yeah, it's after the bad publicity, sure. Like, you don't get it for that run, but, like, that run, you can end the run and you serve no punishment. Like, that run only goofs you if you access something. So, like, eh. Ever noticed that this Wayland card does net damage? Shouldn't be meat to be thematically correct. Technically, but very few cards, very few ice do meat damage because that would mean that they're sending out somebody. So the only cards that do meat damage are like checkpoint or flare, in which like something actually like hurts you. Right? Flare like wrecks your rig, so it actually burns you. For checkpoint, they actually just hunt you down. But yeah, please, it's important in chat. You don't say this. But Mouseless, like nobody's showing up to your house, so the net damage kind of makes sense. Ice doing meat is cool when it makes sense. So I think checkpoint is cool. I think flare is really cool because it even says on it like it hurts you, like it blows up your hardware and you get hurt. I rest gun on R&D. Hello? Are they here? It didn't say they disconnected. Hey? Wraparound to IP? That's an option. It's definitely an option. I think we already have enough AI hate with 3 copies of Bulwark and 2 copies of Horton. I mean, extensive use of checkpoint in an outfit deck. I no longer use checkpoint. That sounds about right. Did we disconnect? No. How do you know? Can we refresh through this? Hold on. Is this gonna work? It's not the right cursor. Oh, thank you. F5. Hey. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Apparently DC'd. Didn't notice. Sorry about that. Thank you. Dazzler, how's it going? Yeah, we goofed it. Okay. What do they do? So they ran archives. Dirty Laundry archived. They installed Netrunner, same old thing, sure gamble. So Netrunner, or same old thing, could play Hot Pursuit, that's okay. Play Endless Eula. It's also not good with bad publicity. Type something into the chat so your opponent didn't show up. Oh, beans, okay. So what can we do here? Draw. For that card. Draw. I assume they're going to smash HQ here, so like I don't want to do anything, and it's a 1 in 5. I assume they might same old thing, Hot Pursuit. If we put another piece of ice on here, we will be annoying, but it also like means that it's a 1 in 4 instead of 1 in 5. We only have 2 hostiles, so like if they don't play a clot threat, which would be SMC or SMC, we'll be okay. So I think actually we might just want to hit Broad Daylight, but then we're throwing out their self-modifying codes. Otherwise, we're clicking for a credit. What did we hit? We hit Baby and Visage. This means that they might be more likely to draw up because we're threatening their hand size. That was technically a risk because if we hit a self-modifying code, then we have to respect self-modifying code into clot. But otherwise, we can hopefully score this out. Hit the thing? Yeah, let's do it. This guy's not worried about a hostile top deck. No, they are not worried about a hostile top deck. Running archives. Again, getting to Liza. I don't think there's any reason why they wouldn't want to run HQ. It costs them like, what, 1 credit? And then they actually access cards. Like, I think the run archives is wrong with the IP block on HQ. I'm going to regret that. Okay, we have to hold off here. We have to protect agendas. Ooh, how heavily do we want to boost this? Chisel makes Eula so bad. Chisel's going to fuck up the meta in a very big way with the amount of ice. The type of ice that you play is like totally different. Yeah, I don't think you're going to see it outside of... Oh, now they're doing it. Are they... Did they hear us? But, yeah, I think you're right. Surveyor. Why are they doing this? They didn't do this last turn. Why are they doing this now? Are they sniping us? Boost the IP trace? Totally not worth it. They have 1 billion credits. Ah, come on. Really? I guess we did draw 3 times. Maybe calling... I don't want to call stream snipe, but... Whatever, we'll just jam into remote. They still can't contest. NGO's good. I think we just jammed the NGO. They have to run it. Doesn't just mean avoiding the first tag return. They don't need to fight the trace. You're 100% correct. They did not need to boost that trace once. I think they goofed that up as well. They could just take the trace. They were too used to hot pursuing it where they were boosting in it. So they did waste like what, 3 credits? I don't know, but they could run HQ for free, draw 2 cards. That's why the archives run was not great. Yeah, everyone in chat's calling that out now. Did I notice it? 100%. 100%. I saw it. No, yeah, I didn't. Oh, Liza? Okay, yeah, so run archives first might be good, but they could run this boost, you're right. And then next turns they don't have to, because it's only first time. And now they're not running this? Playing around snare? It's not worth it. Okay, now they have it. But now they're not running this. What's going on? Wait, why did they throw out a mirror? Their hand size is 5. Your hand size is good. I don't get it. Okay. What did they clone chip? Okay, well they only have 2 stealth credits. Okay, so they need a sentry breaker. In theory, they don't. Like, they can trace this. It's only trace 6. I guess it happens twice. That might be good. So Chisel is just Parasite 2.0. How's it going, Donald? Yeah, largely. It's a bit more interesting, though, because you still face check a lot of the times. But, yeah, largely, yes. But those are nuts reads. Dagger coming down. That's actually pretty good for us, because it's 6 strength. So they're actually going to have to trace through some of these surveyors. We also could just, like, border control this. So they have to do this twice. This actually feels pretty safe. Oh, they... Wait, hold on. Okay, good. So we waited. Oh, fuck. The Net Ready Eyes is going to get us really good here. 6-string dagger. They have 2 different consoles? Do they? Yeah, they do. That's cool. All right. Now, the brain damage actually is pretty good for us. Now, they have to get through the border control and we can shut it down. So they won't have enough stealth credits to come back unless they play like Cold Read or something. But then the clone chip will do work. So let's see what their refractor is. It's a black cat. Ooh, they went full stealth. The numbers line up pretty good. I think we definitely end the run. It makes these 4 strength though, which kind of sucks. But like, I think. Okay, hold on. We have to think this through. Do we actually give this one to them? I feel like we don't, because they have no stealth. So they have to actually trace through these. Never go full stealth. Yeah, I think going full stealth is just doing yourself a disservice, because now your stealth is spread so thin as opposed to just having Corroder or even Paperclip for this influence. Yeah, there's a Cold Read, so at least they're going to have to trash something, which means that their dagger will be out. I guess they can clone chip it back in. I'll just probably write all their stuff in Node. Parasite 0.46. All right, well, they got us. Give it to them, I think. I don't think it's wrong. I think we can put the Hordem there next turn and it'll be annoying. Hopefully we top deck another agenda. There's still a lot in our deck. Now they have to trash a program that they used. So they used their dagger. No, they didn't use that. That doesn't work like that. I think you have to trash. They didn't use a cloak that run, did they? Did you? Did they? Yeah, they can't. Cold Read says a program you use that run. So they can't trash the cloak. Oh, we actually 1 credit short of resing this. Oh, it's all good. Okay. Even if we put an Arc Lockdown, we could play Titan with Arc Lockdown, which would be fine. We'd have a Titan token also. Man, if we played Titan, we would have won by now. I think. Okay, so this we can't res. Nothing to see here. Remember how I said we just need a top deck and agenda? Oh, yeah. Sorry. I didn't notice that. Trash the dagger. Only one you used on that run, but standard procedure. Yeah, lockdown would be fine. They're absolutely tearing us apart. Okay, so they have a clone chip. Lockdown here would be pretty good. No agenda, but that's obviously a good card. I think we draw once. We hedge fund. How hard is it to get for them to get through Bulwark? Pretty fucking hard, actually. So we want to make sure we end with more than 10. So we'll draw once. Okay, that's even better. So we can put this on the remote server. Oh, then we can't. Okay, I guess the hedge fund will be enough, right? Because this will put us down to 7. Yeah, that's enough. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. No room memes. Lisa, you're tearing me apart. Oh, I see. No room memes. Okay, very good. All right. Hand size is still 5. Wait, no, it should be 4. Why do they have an extra hand size? Didn't they stim hack? Why is their hand size 5? I can't read. It's here. Chat, settle down. I know you were worried about the hand size. It's also super easy for them to reinstall this for basically free with the bad publicity, like while running archives if they want to preempt to use a clone chip. Dirty laundry. Okay, this actually is an okay res. We get 3 credits back. We will not set it. How do they keep calling this so good? How do they know this is a barrier? I guess there's no point boosting refractor. I'm super fucking suspicious. What did we replace the bulwark and titan? That's the big thing. So no AI installed. They have to boost this a fair bit. And they only have, what, 3 stealth credits to do it? Which is enough. So it's 4, 5, 6. They disconnected on the bulwark res? The bulwark scare them? Now it's their turn to disconnect. Okay, so we'll hold on. They waited for us. Let's do the math here. It's 4. So 2 credits will bring it up to 5. 2 credits to 6. 2 credits, sorry, will bring it up to 6. Then 2 more to 8. 2 more to 10. Really good reads me things. Yeah, I think they're reading the good. Like, it makes sense. I don't think you boost refractor. Refractor has a nuts value. Like, you definitely boost this one. Oh, hey. Well, hey. Perfect. Tithonium? Yeah, Tithonium's not bad. Cold reads. Hey. All right, so they're at 6. They used 1 stealth credit. So they can get it up. It's just going to be a lot of money. I think Mouseless is probably good. It just doesn't end the run. But generally, you put this for centrals. I don't know if you want this on the remote. Did they spend one from a stealth card? Hold on. Oh, yeah, it's fine. Oh, that actually wasn't that bad for them. Excuse me. We could lose right here very easily. No. Downloading bulwark really saturates the bandwidth. It's a lot of strength on the ice, so like it really slows everything down. Okay, that honestly isn't that taxing. That net ready eyes is doing them a lot of value. That's really cool. I think a big thing that I'm watching out for now is for the Kashyyyk. That upcoming card. Using their self-modifying code for value, install the cloak for what? Free now? Because they have 3 bad pub? I think the bad pub's gonna cost us the game. Is for trying to figure out which breaker suites have strong numbered cards. Like this has 3, which is not permanent. The 3 on DJ Fenris is pretty good. So almost have the 3s. Their hand size is good again. Oh no, it's not anymore. Okay. So we have Neural, so we can do 3 damage. Not good enough. Fuck. No, they can get through this. We have 1 biased reporting in the deck. I think Mouseless is definitely better than Veritas for this deck. Okay, we gotta think. We could jam in this remote. This is 6 strength, which is only like what? 3 stealth credits, 3 stealth credits. We have to do that. They have so much money. Yeah, this deck 100% should have Audacity as well. The Titan deck specifically should have an Audacity because it's the Titan deck. But fuck me, that was insane. That was insane. They have so much money. I don't think we have a play here. I'm just waiting for a Maker's Eyes to close the game. All right, so it's 2 credits, 2 credits, 1 credit, so 5 to get through this thing. They have no AI installed with bad pub. Chris, how's it going? My computer tells me it's Wednesday. It is technically bonus, but it's also technically because we can't stream tomorrow. R&D interface coming down. That's going to lock the game out. We can't draw past that one. So we need the next 3 cards not to be agendas for us to have a chance. Archive Memories is fine too. Archives is cool with Salems, but like it's hard to do in a combo kill turn. Like even a Punitive would be fine. Like this sort of deck archetype would probably be good with Punitive. Like we have the money advantage. The Trace is not on a run, so they don't get the bad pub value. And then like Punitive into Salems is like really good. Jam and maybe they'll think it's an NGO. Yeah, I think we'll jam. They don't have to break this. They are though. Okay. So they know the next 2 cards, so anything we jam looks like an agenda. Sees the same Hortum twice. We could shuffle our deck with preemptive action. Probably not the best. Hopefully we get a Salems off the top, and then they have like 3 of the same card and we win. I think we just do double IPO. I don't know what else we do. We're just gonna slowly lose though. Maybe we do jam there. I like the 13 credits though. If we can find, and again, border control is so good with the Nisei token. If we can like the Atlas token. If we can do another border control, maybe we can get it. But like for this to be good, we have to get this to like what? 11 strength? No, actually 8 strength would be enough because then they have to double boost. I don't know if they're doing the math right. It's really hard to check on JNet. It's actually probably really hard to check anywhere. How's it going, guy? They have some credits. Again, they don't have to break this. I guess it plays around snare, other traps. 3rd time Hortum. We are hands only Hortums. We just need them to like install a bunch of shit so we can kill them. Oh, that's it. Hey, good game. I don't think we had a chance. They sniped the hostile. Again, this deck only has 2 hostiles. And we don't have any other way they fast advance out. I don't think they're on Clot. Maybe they are. But they made all the right calls, right? Like they knew when the NGO front was. They found the thing in hand. Feels bad. We did force them to cold read this, but like it was fine. Titan time. Unfortunately, it's almost 10 o'clock. I gotta wake up tomorrow at like 5, 6 in the morning. This deck definitely goes 3 hostile with Atlas, I'm pretty sure. So that's probably it for me. In fact, that's definitely it for me. So I'm just gonna make some more food, make sure I'm packed, and that'll be it. All those Hortum accesses. Yeah, that's 5 Hortums. To everyone who dropped by, thanks so much for dropping by. Again, really, really exciting time. Hold on, wait, we'll make this really cool. Check this out. This will be like, I think we did this outro right the other day. But yeah, that's right. Subtle music. Oh god, fucking production value around here, am I right? I don't know if this is too loud. So thanks so much for dropping by. We are not going to stream next Thursday. We'll be back next week. We're going to be doing a lot of content stuff in the near future, talking about all the new cards. Again, they come out on Monday. Check all the cards on Nisei down that. They've all been revealed. Maybe they'll be up on JNet. We don't know. David was in chat saying a lot of cool stuff about the near, like all these cards, explaining a bunch of the stuff. But that's largely it. Thanks to all the people who've been games about. Thanks to, that's the song. What's the title? Oh, this is the song? Hold on. Elevation by Stanley Gurvich. That's the song. What else did I say? Store Championship coming up in April. Good luck to Store Championships this weekend, if you have them, or in the upcoming. We'll be back next week. Maybe Pat will be here. I'm not 100% sure. We'll be off for the last week of March, so we'll figure out some way to fix that so that we get more streams in, because a lot of content's coming out. Super excited to play all this stuff on JNet. That's largely it. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being in chat. Be good to one another. We need the ending card here so it doesn't just like cold cut. That'd be cool. Bye.